just a bloke in a bar.
Somehow, Sandor Earl of year-round tan fame always tan.
How does that, like, and also it's the tan, like the peak of I've been sitting in the sun for the exact amount of time.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Golden cookie
Do you
bronze.
reckon he takes tanning tablets?
It's good. He's doing something. Because if that's natural, it's almost unnatural.
Now, is there a chance that he has some sort of ethnic background that we aren't aware of?
Well, I know he does, but I just hate the guy, so I'm just
Okay,
trying to
right.
say,
Well,
like,
see, I was
for
unaware
sure.
of that, and now I'm talking about the guy's tan. I feel like maybe that's inappropriate of me, but it's a lovely tan.
We're complimenting
Well, I mean,
his tan. We're saying it's so good that
It's lovely.
It's a beautiful fucking
It's
tan.
lovely to look at.
It is honestly, it's a perfect tan.
It's a perfect tan.
Literally, it's not like the didn't orange with a fake tan. It's,
No.
it's the beautiful natural tan. Sandor, shit bloke.
Shit bloke, hot bloke, shit bloke.
Shit, hot bloke.
Good teeth, hot bloke, shit bloke.
Tall, jacked, hot.
Tall Jack, hot, ambitious,
Looks
successful.
like he's got stamina.
Six pack. Could probably hold like a plank for really long.
Best tan in the history of mankind.
It wouldn't shock me if he walked in one day and said that he'd broken the planking world record.
Yeah.
I wouldn't shock. I wouldn't shock.
Like he could plank for like a day.
Yeah. How many
can see
hours?
that.
Oh, like fucking, I don't know, 36 hours?
Yeah, 36.
He could plank for 36 hours. I
What's the
Wouldn't
world
surprise me.
record plank, Matty?
Wouldn't surprise me if we finish the show, I come back in next Monday, he's planking the whole time.
Dude, I wouldn't be
Imagine
surprised.
just doing
if
a
he
show
just
planking.
Planks in here.
Planks whilst doing the show.
Dude,
When
he
he do a
should plank-
4.5 hour marathon,
He should
bang,
plank
just
across
planking.
here, and then you just Guru puts his mic on top of his back. Again, a little extra weight, and then he just talks into a mic down here. He used to have a camera up onto his face.
And he holds one mic between his cheeks and Guru
Yeah,
speaks
Guru,
to that
yeah,
one.
exactly, dude. You unscrew this and just put it in the cheeks.
Yeah, because these dudes come off.
And that would fit in your cheeks.
That would
But
fit
also,
the cheek.
he'd have the cheek strength to like hold it in place. For
Oh,
the whole-
yeah.
like he could clench his ass.
Strongest
for the
cheeks
whole
in the
show
game. Strongest cheeks in the
whilst
game.
planking.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily need to clench.
Oh, you're saying maybe just penetrating.
You could
with it.
insert it.
That's true.
And
you
it'd
could.
just sit on it.
jam
on
it
its
in
own.
and then just tilt the mic back up.
Yeah.
He'd have to plank for over 2 episodes because the record's 9 hours, 30 minutes, and
Yeah,
I
1 second.
reckon he'd shit
He'd
that
shit
in.
that in. He could
Easy.
plank for a couple of days.
Easy.
I reckon he'd shit that in. That's less than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
Shandor's a fucking sniffy.
He's a planker from way back.
Yeah, he's an old planker.
Remember when planking was a thing?
Well, that was the
What
like,
a weird time in our lives.
Oh my god! Like
People would plank on like the edge
anything.
of buildings
and
and
it was
shit.
interesting.
Yeah,
like
it was
we were like,
hilarious.
oh fuck, that's funny. He's planking.
But that's like internet meme culture shit.
But
right?
it is a very like compared to other viral things like the ice challenge.
What about that one where everyone was frozen in the room? And
But
then,
that's
like, the
that's
camera
kind of
would walk
like
through.
fun. Whereas like planking is a very specific, strange thing. Like
Yeah, but it's the same. Planking
mannequin
was kind of
challenge.
like as dumb as the dab. Everyone just used to dab.
dabbing.
Nah, planking was weirder than dabbing.
Yeah, planking is very
Because
strange.
you had to like go and lay on objects.
I honestly
Yes.
think planking is the strangest. I honestly think that.
And it
Like,
wasn't for anything, was it?
It was just like some dude planked, and then everyone was like, "Well, that's really fucking cool. I'm going to start doing it too." And we.
I don't think it was cool as much as it was funny.
It started cool.
I don't know if it
How?
started.
The cool kids were doing it first.
Okay.
But in funny situations.
How long did that happen last for? A month?
A couple of months.
It was a while.
Wolfman
You don't want
loved
to be
it.
on the end of a planking or a dabbing.
Wolfman loved to plank.
Was he a big planker?
Dude, Wolfman planked after he scored a try, I think, once. And
Did
then
he? The wolf!
He also planked.
The wolf!
He planked on the crossbar at Brookie.
Fair dinkum.
Not in a game, obviously.
Obviously.
Did he really?
Yeah.
The wolf. Love that.
And if there's
Shout out to
one,
Wolfman.
if there's one man that I would plank, it's the Wolfman.
Fucking Wolfman loved to plank.
Well, not only would plank, but could.
Could plank.
Could plank,
Great
would
call.
plank. I think
And
he was
he's
also,
now-
he might have made planking cool, you know, and then.
Was he first to market?
I think he was
an
first
early
to market.
adopter.
Yeah, he was an early adopter.
I
of
think
the
in
plank.
like dabbing and planking, you don't want to be last to market. That's
No.
the saddest person in the world.
If you're last to market for a dab, then you're probably over 60.
But dabbing as well, you don't necessarily want to be first to market either because it's a bit weird and like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What's
but
like investing.
sometimes you've got to be a trailblazer, right? You've got to be prepared to fail to succeed. So, like, if you want to, you have to be prepared to go all
so
out.
someone was walking around just fucking.
Well, it was Cam Newton who started the dab.
You're a late adopter. You would have dabbed really late.
Really?
I've
Everyone
never
Stop
dabbed.
doing it.
I've never dabbed.
He's a very late adopter.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, if I'm not even an adopter.
You're
I
a
didn't
late
adopt.
adopter.
Well, I'm not an adopter.
Like
at
you're
all.
like, oh, wireless headphones. Why the fuck would I buy them?
I'm certainly a late
and then
adopter.
he got them and he's like, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get
Now
it
I get it. There's
now.
no wire. I just put them on my ears.
I'm a late adopter.
He thought
of
people
shit,
that bought
dude.
him were fuckwits. I'm like, oh my God.
I am
Is he like
late
a
adopter.
contrarian? Like if
yeah,
everyone's doing it, they're all fuckwoods.
That's
Oh,
correct.
okay.
Sheep.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're all
sheeple.
sheep.
Well,
We're all
I'm not a
sheeple.
sheep. You're a sheep if you're doing it because everyone's doing it. But
you do it. You just do it really late.
Yeah, I've got to see the merit in it. You know what I mean?
You've read
Or
Letter
I
to
need
a-
to basically have technology just squeeze me until I have no choice.
You've read Letter to a Contrarian by Chris Hitchens, correct?
Haven't, but that's a way of you telling us you're smart, and that's cool. Sorry. Denon reads books. Everyone,
Shout out
Fucking-
R.I.P. Hitchens.
Yes,
He was one of the great orators.
He
of
was a
our time.
motherfucker.
And so ironic that one of the great orators got throat cancer. How fucking crazy is that?
Look at you reading books.
It is.
How weird, eh? A
Can
footy
be.
player reading
Can be.
books.
Yeah, footy
We're
player.
back
Well,
down
we didn't
this
think you
path.
could read.
We're,
Dropped out in
we're
year
back
10.
down this path. Didn't
Footy
finish
player
school.
didn't finish school. Can read. There you go.
Learn something new every day.
That's a story.
That's a story.
Didn't go to uni.
And I'd
didn't
read it
finish
if it was a
school.
story, 'cause I
What's a
Read a book.
Shakespearean play?
Well, listen. I mean, we all know that it was an audiobook, but
I don't even think audiobooks were out back then.
okay, buddy.
Right. All right. Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. Brought to you by Bloke in a Bar shorts that are getting released tonight at 6 p.m. That is Wednesday, 6 p.m. Black, brown, grey, limited supply, 6 p.m. Be there, bloke.shop. That is www.bloke.shop, 6 p.m. Once they're gone, it takes another 6 months to get them done. We've ordered heaps this time, so hopefully they don't go. We're hoping we have enough for you guys, but we can't promise it. So 6 p.m. tonight, bloke.shop, black, brown, grey. It's open to everyone. So be there or be square. Also, boxing tonight. Harry Garside, one of our Aussie Olympians, and Paulo Acuso. Apologies if I got that wrong. Two of our Aussie Olympians, actually. Acuso is making his debut, his pro debut. Very hyped young fighter. And Harry Garside made his debut last time, but the ref stopped it after one round. It was like a weird
It
stoppage.
was a bit of a shit show, that one.
Garside's a gun. That is a no-limit card tonight. You can watch it on KO Sport. This is not a paid ad. This is just if you love Aussie boxing. This is, everyone always complains, the footy players, they're always getting the big fights and all the big cards. And then they don't go and buy cards like this. This is Aussie boxing. All our best Aussie boxers, or most of them, or a lot of them, are on this card. So if you like Aussie boxing and you want to see more of our Aussie boxers, get the big cards. These are the cards you have to buy. And you're usually going to find much higher quality fights on these cards than the footy player cards. Because
Is this a card you buy or is it just on KO?
it's probably just on KO, actually.
I don't even think you have to buy this one.
Is it? Can you Google that?
I could be wrong.
I've looked at this before. I think it's just on Fox. I will confirm.
Or just
That's
tune
what's
in.
cool
It's
about
free.
the no limit shit
Oh.
is that they're just doing like free every Wednesday, aren't they? They're putting like
a lot
good
of
fights on,
Wednesdays, yeah.
or a lot of Wednesdays.
Well, that's the thing as well. Is like the money, and I know this to be true because I know the No Limit boys. The money they make off the big cards, they invest into these cards. So like that's where the whole argument of like footy players getting the highlights, the main events. It's all business. It's all business to make the profits, give it to these guys, build them up. I mean, look at Tim Tszou's rise to stardom. It has been so well calculated and done by No Limit, by mixing him in with the footy players initially, then bringing him out to be his own main event. This is all planned. So I think a lot of boxing fans don't actually know that, you know, the boxing promoters are aware. Like they wish that they could have just Tim Tszou card main event, but it just takes time to kind of get that to happen. What do you got?
Just confirming, fans can watch this live on Fox Sports or on KO for free.
Live on Fox Sports KO, completely free. Starts at 7:30.
Not sure, but I'll look that up. But it's part of the No Limit on Fox campaign that they're doing.
No Limit, all the good cards, No Limit put them on.
Hectic.
Outside of like Cambosis, but he went overseas. So, No Limit are
I
fantastic.
can
So
see
watch
myself
this
bloody putting the feet up on the couch.
Oh, the feet will
tonight.
be up tonight. I can guarantee the feet are up.
A little bit of it.
KO on,
Maybe a
feet are up.
tequila.
Well, I'll be pouring myself an Añejo.
And then
Tom,
feet
Yep.
up, watch a couple of dudes punch the fuck out of each other. Come on now.
100%.
Come on, put the kids to bed.
Speaking of punching the fuck out of each other, you guys interviewed Alex Volkanovski.
Yes.
World champion.
He was our first world champ. So we
First world
popped our world champ cherry.
We did.
Okay. Well, was he, I guess, struggling to breathe at the heights? You know, you obviously bring him up to
We brought him up. Look, we again, similar to the way that the No Limit boys slowly raised Tim Tszou's profile, we slowly acclimatized him to the lack of oxygen at the top of the heap. We got him up there. We gave him a day to reach the summit. And then once he was there, it was great. We had a roll up there. We trained as well, put him through his paces. But he was gracious and humble. And look, he knew what the gig was. And
He knew what the gig was.
yeah, well,
What's
he
the
knew
gig?
that. Well, just like play it cool, you know.
Play it cool.
You played it cool, did you?
Fuck.
To the UFC world champ.
Yeah.
You played it cool, did you?
Nah.
Was he
mate.
sitting back going, fuck, this guy's a cool cat?
These guys are cool. These guys are cool.
I've done some
Yeah,
interviews
yeah,
in my time. I'm the world
These
champ. going across
guys
the
are
world.
really cool.
But that Tom guy is cool as a cucumber.
well, not me personally. Us as like a, just as a whole, the whole show, the whole
Okay.
thing.
Can
You
you
don't
back
want to
that
take
up?
all the coolness?
Nah, look, it'd be unfair of me to take all of it. To hoggle the cool.
Were you cool? Were you acting cool? at
I
this?
was trying to be cool.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
hard to be cool around
A world champion.
really cool cat. you
Yeah,
know what
I mean, he's the top of the heap.
yeah,
cat.
yeah.
Cool cat.
And a
Who can-
bloke that could kill you inside of 3
Inside of a
seconds with his
second.
bare hands.
Yeah.
But
That's-
genuinely, he was a great guy. He was fucking awesome and
A
he
great
was
Australian.
yarner. He was a yarner.
One of the great Australians all time.
Put him on a note.
Oh fuck yeah! Put
Mate,
him on a 5,
honestly,
10, 20.
if you were looking
Hundo.
at great Australian exports that you would put on a note, he'd be on one.
Imagine that
100%.
Big,
Yeah.
bold
Him.
noggin on there.
Kyrgios.
Kyrgios is on the 5.
Kyrgios is on the 5er. It works
Ash
well.
Barty's on the 50 or the 100.
Yeah,
100? I'd
Ash
put
on a
100.
50 or 100. Shout
I'd
out
get her on
to,
100.
She's
to Ash.
probably currently at this
100.
point in time on the 100.
Yeah, I
She's
think
on
Because
the
Aussie
100.
Ash, our Aussie Ash,
Yeah, the
ruined
100.
a champion, straight over
Yeah,
champion, French over
great.
champion.
I want to throw one out there, Smokey. Well, not a Smokey, but if Cambosis wins,
Oh yeah.
you've got to get him there somewhere.
Well, I think 100%.
I don't mind Ferocious being on a 50 or a 20.
I'll put him there.
If
I'll put
Ash
him
is
in.
on the hundo, or we make a special like a $60 note for him.
Well, how many notes we got left? We've got the 50, the 10.
We go 60, 70.
20.
So we go Cambosis 60.
60.
Get
So
a
I don't
You
mind
can
making
make notes.
Yeah.
Easy. They print money all the time, the government.
Fucking oath they
Why
do.
the fuck did we just
called
not
inflation.
make
You know what I
notes
would
for
do?
everything?
You know what I'd do? I'd fuck off the 5-cent coin, the 10-cent coin, the 20-cent coin, the 50-cent coin. There's 4 more notes we can make.
Yeah. 50-cent note.
50-cent note.
You want a 50-cent note?
5-cent note.
5-cent note. Here you go.
I like it. I like it. That's more athletes we put on there.
Yep.
Fuck all the coins off. They're annoying. And
Yeah,
just
they
all
are.
have notes.
Coins
All have
are
notes,
overrated.
And we just put athletes on there.
What's the point of a coin these days?
Oh, they're
You
so
know what I
gross
mean?
I mean,
Hot coins. When I used to work in the bottle shop, there was nothing worse than when someone would come in and pay for something with like a handful of hot coins they'd had in their pocket that they'd been like clasping because they're fucking scraping together a few
Because they're
bucks
nervous.
for a long.
Yeah, they'd be hot and they'd be sweaty. I remember I was so poor at uni, I used to pay for half of my fuel with like coins and then the other half on the card.
On the card.
Yeah.
Been there.
I
Done
put
that.
$3.75 on the card,
And then I'm gonna put another
I'm gonna pay
$15.
$7.80 with this.
I remember I was so broke one time. One of my ex-girlfriends, I had to like my card got declined getting on a bus to get home. I had to like go back to my ex-girlfriend where she was working at Foot Locker and be like, "Oh, do you have $2?" So
Can I tell you a
go.
worse story than that? I left work once and I had zero money. I didn't have any credit on my phone and I had no way of getting home and I didn't want to walk. So I went down to the pay phones and like went through there looking for fucking coins.
I'll tell you.
People leave them in there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah.
a sadder story, an embarrassing story. So my life had fallen apart. I'd quit rugby league, and I was down in Wollongong, and I was like working part time behind a bar, doing nothing with myself, just all the wrong decisions you could make. Going out every weekend, spending any money that I had. Anyway, randomly, I get a call from Andrew G at like would have been 10 in the morning.
Andrew G from Channel V.
Andrew G from the Broncos.
Yeah, Andrew.
Andrew G from whatever you want. Whatever you want.
It's
I like
Andrew.
it.
It's
I
Oscar
like where you're going
Gunsberg.
with that.
You want to go on The Bachelor?
Anyway, so
Yes.
so I get the call and it was after a bender. So I had honestly, like I'm talking no sleep. Went out Friday, a bit of sleep, then went out again Saturday, no sleep, then slept Sunday, obviously. He called me, I think on a Monday, calls me and he's like, "Hey mate, you think about coming back to footy?" And I was like, "I mean, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, you want to come play for us again?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to come play for you again. I've got nothing else fucking doing. I'm a loser right now." Anyway, so I thought they were going to pay me minimum wage. But I'd already agreed to everything. And so he just had all the power. So he was just like, he ended up, I think I got like 30 grand a year for the whole year and match payments. But at this stage, the pay hadn't come in yet. So I catch a flight up there, I've got all my kit and I've got no money and I'm going to stay at Alex Glenn's house. And my flight is really late. I get in at probably like 10. He's already asleep, so I can't call. Like I'm calling him, he's not answering. This is Lexi, Alex Glenn. And so the cabbie, I only had $20. That's it. That's all the money I had. The cabbie took me as far as $20, and then I had to take carry all my shit to Lexi's house.
How far?
Oh mate, like a couple Ks. It was fucked. It was so probably longer. And that would have been like 2013 or 14.
Jesus
So like I had
Christ.
no money. then rocked up to training and they threw me straight into it. And they trained me so hard that the next day I came in and I was vomiting from the exertion because like I hadn't done anything, but they just made me do a full wrestling session. With these guys have done a whole preseason peak condition. I've done no weights, nothing. Just took me and just go, yep, you're in now. And so much so that like if I missed or not even missed, like fell a little bit off a tackle, but still made it, they'd be like, no, go again. And I was fucking vomiting for the whole next day.
Jesus, they just fucking pounded you into the earth.
Pounded me into the earth.
I don't have anything of that nature, but I do remember one time when I had no money and I couldn't afford to buy my dog food, and so me and Ruby, may she rest in peace, we split a 2-litre bottle of milk for dinner. Like I had no money for food either, so it was like I'm out of fucking money here, no food. She's looking at me like I'm hungry. I'm like, so am I.
What a sad moment.
So I just got her bowl out and I just put it next to the couch and I just poured it out in her bowl and I just sat on the couch and pounded this fucking 1 litre.
When
of
did
milk.
pay come in? Like
the next day? It was like fucking the next day or like midnight that night or something. It was just like, this is fucked.
Well, what about in Bathurst where like we're all away and we hadn't paid the gas bill, so there was no heater. It's fucking freezing
in Bathurst in winter.
Middle of winter, it's like
and I was the only
minus.
one in the house.
And so no hot water to have a shower, and you didn't have
no electricity either. Oh no, we had
electricity.
We had electricity,
but there's no heat.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have any money for your car, so you had to walk.
My car ran out of petrol at a mate's place.
Oh.
So I was, what the fuck thing about that was, it was so cold that I retreated the entire house into my bedroom. So I took the TV into the bedroom and got a little plug-in heater, and I would just live in the bedroom and fucking be freezing. And I'd have to walk to people's houses for showers because I couldn't get any hot water. I was like, I'm not showering. Fucking.
You just Wim Hofed it.
No way, dude. I was too unhealthy at that stage to Wim Hof anything. I would have just died. Not
negative fucking.
No. And people would like see me just strolling around town with a towel over my shoulders. I was walking to their house.
Fucking hell.
Imagine seeing him on a misty Bathurst morning walking, trudging up the road.
There's a homeless guy again.
But it was also like,
and he would have had his little soap as well.
It was like there was nothing. No one was that close. Like it wasn't like you're walking heaps far, but it was far enough to be a real imposition.
It was like a K and a half.
Yeah, it was an imposition to have to walk for a shower. That's for damn sure.
Was it 50 meters?
No. Anyway.
Now you're a rock star, keeping it cool.
Just keeping it cool with Volkanovski, dude. Yep.
If he knew that you walk with a towel, he wouldn't have spoken to you, I don't reckon.
You know what, dude? He's such a good bloke. I think
he's got a bit of towel in him.
He would have been like, this guy's not cool enough for me.
You went back. We went back to his gym in Windang. He's as humble as it gets. It's like he's scaled the heights, but he's still back in the little, the gym where it all...
I reckon he's walked for a shower.
He's walked for a fucking shower. Of course he has.
I'll pay that.
Yeah.
Under the hose? One of those ones?
Yeah, a hose shower. More of a summer option.
More of a summer option?
Well, it's bold in the winter.
It's a bold call in winter to just shower under a hose. That's tough stuff.
You can probably get away with it in Brisbane.
Mate, FNQ.
Bit warmer up there.
FNQ.
Not out in the Central West, mate. Fucking
no way.
The winner of the case of beer last week was Chris Caldwell. Chris Caldwell won the case of beer.
Well done, Chris.
You know what? We'll do something this week. What should we do? Let the punters and the dribblers in the comments section.
What did we do last week?
Well, I did something on Monday.
Okay.
And we forgot to put it in the thingos. Let's do predicted player of the round for next round.
Is that a subjective decision, player of the round, though? Because, he may pick fucking Tolu Kula.
Well, the winner of that team, he won for a team of the week, and every single position was a centre. So
yeah, it's all. I mean,
it's not that serious.
It's not that serious. It's like,
I'd fucking
just put who you think's going to be the player of the round.
Tom's taking it really
and then
serious.
we will select
taking
the closest
real
one.
Serious.
And it's only one person that can
now,
win. So
who gets to fucking name it?
Do you want a leg up?
Yeah,
we'll pick.
We pick.
Okay.
Don't let him pick.
Okay, they can pick the.
Well,
the
we get a vote.
We get a vote.
Okay, you just get a vote. It's not really
There's
not
two
that
of us
serious.
and there's one of you. So
there is a chance that we basically have.
It's not that serious, though.
Well, it is that serious.
Well, I'll bring you 3 of the comments next week.
There's a lot of paperwork involved for 3 people being involved.
Well,
but, I mean, if you
we don't want
to
to touch any paperwork, but we will be heavily involved in the
I'll
vote.
say this. You're a better sniff if you pick someone from Manly.
Really good sniff.
Now, I can't confirm or deny whether they will actually get to select it because they're going to select someone from Manly.
Not
Not necessarily. If we get pumped, we won't. Which we won't.
We won't get pumped.
So your predicted player of the round, and it's only one case. So if there is multiple people that pick this person, then sorry.
Then
sorry
tough
about it.
titties. First person to pick it. First person to comment.
Now, stores in the spotlight: Rosebery, Green, Botolo. Crest Hotel celebrations. Doncaster Hotel celebrations. What do you got there, Tom? You pointing?
Oh, just pointing at Rosebery Green Bottle. I know exactly where that is.
Oh, nice. Everyone, Tom knows where that is.
Wow.
Just around the corner from here.
Like if you're thinking, fuck, that famous guy knows where it is, I'm going to go buy alcohol from there. That boom.
Well,
That's
that
a good
wasn't at
sell.
all what I was saying. It was just more that it's around the
Famous
corner.
guy that keeps it cool.
The cool famous guy.
He keeps it cool.
Keeps
this
it
bloke.
cool.
He's a fucking cool cat.
Yeah.
He's a cool cat. He's a cool cat.
Yeah,
He knows
no sweat patches under these armpits, baby. Don't worry
That's a
about
cool
that.
cat. That's one cool cat.
Is Roseberry spelt with 2 R's at the end? Or is it just one?
No.
There you go. I don't know it that well.
Now, Grange Hotel celebrations, Wyoming. Knickerbocker celebrations, Bathurst. Your
Yes.
place. Your neck of the
Knickerbocker.
woods.
Was
They
that
also
near
know where that is.
we lived?
Is that near where you walk? Did you walk past that place?
We would, but I just can't remember. Was that the one that was over the other side?
Or was it the one up on the corner on the highway?
Look, to be honest, I don't think the fans.
Or
give
is it
a
the
fuck.
one in the middle?
I,
We never
look,
went to the
no, but
Knickerbocker.
I don't think we ever really went there.
I don't
never
think people
did.
listening give a fuck.
But they might, you know.
You reckon people don't care about where the Knickerbocker is?
No, whether you guys.
Oh, wow.
They
There
don't
you
want to
go.
sit there for 30 seconds.
Sorry, Knickerbocker. We were just shouting you out, but now no one cares. No one cares.
They don't want to sit there for 30 seconds. Was it around the corner from where I lived?
Is it near the highway or was it the one near the park? I thought it was actually the one near the park.
I think it was the one near
we
the
went there
park.
when we went down there and did the
Yeah, we did. It was the one near the park.
great back area.
Yeah.
There's a great back
spot.
area there.
Yeah.
In a good shed.
Any
Yeah.
other small tidbits you want to tell about the area?
Well, just specifically to Knickerbocker, there's a great punting area.
Yeah.
A great outdoor area that's under tin roof. So if it's pissing
Yeah.
with rain right now, a nice sort of vibe.
Very
you know?
chill. Cool.
Cool.
That's where you got your coolness from.
It's one of the places, certainly.
A lot of like V8 memorabilia hanging on the walls,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
always a good sign.
You can
Okay.
hear the cars racing.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you
Anything
want,
else?
well, we used to live on Keppel Street
Yeah.
in Bathurst.
Yeah, okay.
So what was the address? 57?
I thought it was
Or was it
70
150 something?
Yeah. Okay.
Keppel Street, though, Bathurst. We were known as the Kings of Keppel Street.
The Kings of Keppel Street.
That was what they called us in the town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
something.
real
And
locals.
up the road, there was a bowling club. What was the bowling
Yeah.
club called?
Keppel Street Bowls.
No, it wasn't.
I just made that up.
Magellan Bowling
Magellan
Club.
Bowls.
Magellan Bowling Club. Hopefully we can get in there for.
We were
on
members?
tap or beers there. You were members there.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, I thought we might have been.
Riveting.
Part-time members.
This is riveting.
What else do you need? What do I know?
What else do you
I just
know?
want to stay riveted.
Stay riveted, okay. The
Then I
Maccas?
moved house after Keppel Street. I moved to a house on William Street, I think.
Yeah,
up
I
near
never
the uni.
did. I was only in one
So that
spot.
was pretty cool. That was a 4-bedder.
I'm still riveted.
4-bedder, 2-bar.
You had a good back. The good thing was you could get a backyard. You know what I mean? The prices were not prohibitive in the sense that you're able to get a nice house and a good backyard, bit of grass.
I think the rent a week was like $70.
Yeah.
$70. That's a steal.
Yeah.
That's a steal. Back, I mean, these days you can't find.
You can find it anyway,
can't
mate.
find
Nah,
it.
you can find it anyway, mate.
No, these days fucking.
Hey,
Look at your
for
fucking
another
shoebox
man,
these
mate.
days.
Nah, yeah.
Hey, times have changed, bro. Times have changed.
Anyway, shout out to the Knickerbocker.
Shout out Knickerbocker. You just got a free 5-minute ad. Boom. Thanks, guys. The Warwick Bottle Shop, Warwick Farm. Harry's Brown's Liquor, Craigburn, Victoria. Newtown Hotel, Toowoomba. Dooley's Tavern, Springshaw. Super Sellers at Acacia Ridge. Burger Company, Sports Bar in Port Douglas. Apparently it's killing it on tap. The note says killing it on tap. So the crew has gotten out there and enjoyed the Bloke in a Bar beer. Thank you everyone that's getting out there. All of the Black Sheep bottle shops in Brisbane. I thought they said All Black, and I was like, are we in some kind of All Black store? That would be hectic.
Oh, right. All black. Is there a double L in that black? Is
That's
that
a
intentional?
spelling mistake by yours truly.
By you. Oh, by him. I think yours truly means that you were saying it about yourself.
Well, I was pointing like that. So when I say
were
yours
you?
truly,
Well, I don't know. If yours truly, I thought that would be you.
by yours truly,
He's truly.
His truly.
yours truly.
No, yours truly.
But he's yours truly.
No, you're mine truly.
Yeah, all of the Black Sheep bottle shops in Brisbane and Charlie's Celebration Superstore in Gympie. And I think that is it. Now, I've got a question for you, as you can see on the TV there.
Yep.
Now, this has been bugging me because I felt that it was a bit drier than usual on the weekend, and he did put a few kicks out that he doesn't usually do. But are teams intentionally trying to dry Nicho's hair when he plays because obviously that's where his power lays?
Look, it wouldn't surprise me if they were. Coaches these days are just constantly one step ahead of the game, and I know for a fact that certainly like your Robbos, your Bellamy's, your Desi's and shit, they've got a towel guy in each team who's got one in his fucking in his shorts.
Well, I've heard on good authority, Tom, that the best teams in the comp, the best well-coached teams in the comp are considering playing in terry toweling jerseys. So that everyone's wearing a towel.
Everyone's wearing a towel. They're playing in towels.
They're playing in towels. It's the alternate strip that they only wear against the Sharks.
So the Knights, you reckon, had towel jerseys on?
Well, they're a shit side, right? Good sides, I think you're going to see
Towels
on them.
And it makes sense, right?
It makes perfect sense.
It is a great idea.
So Newcastle, they tried, but I'm hearing that your Melbournes, your Roosters, your Manlys.
Can Manly afford new jerseys at the moment?
Yeah, dude. We just built a fucking flash new stand.
Can we afford it? Have you seen our flash new stand?
Dude, look, have you seen our new ground? We're rolling in that big.
Is that the government or is that you guys?
No, it's us.
Well, look, it's us.
And it's flash.
Look, flash. Look, do we tip a bit in every year? Sure. I know.
Does that go a percentage of the merch sales?
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, okay.
I was raised on that.
What are your thoughts on people that say club in turmoil? I'm not saying club in turmoil, but people
Bro, are you
say
talking
club
about
in
your
turmoil.
the players in your team beating the shit out of each other outside of a KFC or at a hotel?
Is that what you meant by club in turmoil?
Is that what you meant by club in
That's
turmoil?
boys getting after
Is that what you meant by
Like to see that.
3-game losing streak?
Like to see that.
Don't
boys getting
scoff
after.
my shoes, bro.
Like, that's what I like to see.
That's
it's all
a
about
club in
respect.
turmoil.
It's about respect. It's about
So
it's
who
about
should be
showing who's
respecting?
boss.
Whose shoes were
Your
disrespected?
CEO just
We fucking get rid of CEOs like it's going out of fashion. We've been doing it since we've won 2 comps, essentially 4 if you count the stolen one and the
Do you
2013.
know how you win comps? With reckless abandon?
Yeah.
Fire CEOs constantly. Just fucking churn them,
Churn through them.
Because it sends a message.
Yeah.
It sends a message to the whole organisation. Fucking perform or you're out. And so it still...
what is it, over a decade since you won a comp?
No, it's not that long.
No, I don't think that long. It's what, like 2 decades?
2013
since
we won.
It's coming up to 20 years since you won a comp.
Yeah, but we admittedly are struggling. We're admitting
so
that
you're
we're
admitting
struggling.
that you're struggling.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were a couple of bad calls away from a grand final last year.
Yeah. And we got robbed of...
So, like...
But also, we
What,
won
are
in
you
2013.
We were a couple of bad calls away from a GF, which we would have won.
Yep.
You'd almost chalk 2021 up to us as well.
Well, but you do chalk 2013 up to us.
Yep.
We won 2013.
So
it
technically
actually
we-
Well,
hasn't been
technically
10
we
years.
won 2015. Like technically,
so
the
technically-
game went a bit longer than they
What
thought.
are you talking
well,
about?
I mean, there's reports that have come out investigating that the game went over 80 minutes and therefore we should have won it. But I
don't
don't
know
want
that that's.
to.
I think that's a lie.
No,
I don't wanna
you
go.
didn't play 80 minutes.
No, it
Yeah,
didn't
you guys
go for,
gave
it
up.
went for more than 80
You guys
minutes.
gave up
But it's
before
okay.
80.
We've been in a grand final in shorter spans than
You've
you
got
guys
to.
have. That's all good. That's
Well,
good.
we were in last year's,
Um,
except for a couple of bad calls.
Yeah.
But yeah, your CEO walking out, like club in turmoil.
Nah, dude. No turmoil.
Mate,
turmoil?
Manly's, like, on paper, Manly has had a back office and a board in turmoil basically in the club's entire existence.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to bother us.
No, the players don't give a shit.
We don't give a fuck. I tell you what's not a good look. When your $1 million player is punching on with a
your
new
half.
recruit.
You know what was shocking? I mean, when I saw that, I thought, Albert, get the underhooks, bro.
Yes.
Don't be standing at range.
No, you
Look,
can't. You got to be in close.
range or out of range with Payne Haas.
Because your throat's exposed.
Yeah, you
And
were
it was-
basically you were at his perfect distance.
Yeah.
So if I've got any advice for Albert, is you get in tight, get the underhooks, and just fucking whip him around.
I did love how on NRL 360, Payne Haas and Albert Kelly beating the fuck out of each other outside the team hotel.
It was a brawl.
Whatever, but like that was cool. That was it. That was, let it. But then
Is
like
this
a couple
Kenty?
of Tigers boys playing the pokies at 9 o'clock at night is like, oh, it's a bad bloody look.
I know, bro.
It's a bad look.
I
You're
know,
like,
it's
what the
bizarre.
fuck?
Yeah, it was funny. Buzz is like, this is ridiculous about the fight. And then Kenny, mate.
That's not that.
It doesn't matter.
Kenty said it. At some he goes, you know what? There's just times when people deserve a smack in the mouth, and I'm like, okay. I'm not even saying that that's not even
So
entirely
scuffing your
correct,
shoes
but
is
like,
obviously
smack
one of
someone,
them.
yeah, obviously.
you got to smack someone in the mouth. But playing pokies at 9 o'clock at night in the team hotel, not drinking, is not okay.
But you know why? It's because that's the gateway to punch-ons. And I think that because that happened after 10, that was the time that they played pokies too. Buzz was just worried about a punch-on happening after the pokies. So that may be the reason why Buzz was so upset about the pokies.
If you were the Broncos CEO, or like, you've obviously close with Ben Ike and get him on the blower, I'd be mandating that the Broncos wear black shoes that can't be scuffed.
Scuffless shoes, you reckon?
Just taking
Take it away.
the ball out of the player's court, going, listen, If scuff shoes is going to become an issue, and clearly it is
a massive issue,
then we need to do something about it. Be proactive.
Yeah.
Don't be reactive.
Well, Iken is a proactive man
Because-
and he wears all black.
Because I'll tell you a fact of life. Scuffing your shoes will always be annoying.
Oh yeah, especially the first scuff.
There's never a time when a scuff shoe ain't going to piss you off.
No,
or
the
ruin
first
your day.
scuff on a fresh pair of white shoes, it's all over. You might as well throw them out.
What I love about the situation though, it is such a typical pissed thing to do. Of like your mate's not pissed, you're pissed. Yeah, if I get like just that.
Yeah.
It's like every bloke would have done that at some stage.
Do we
Or I have a
assume
mate
that
that's
they
done
were
that.
TNs? Do we assume that they were a fresh pair of TNs? I
Look,
do.
at least-
when I hear the shoe being scuffed, I'm like, that was definitely a TN that was scuffed.
I want my $1 million man to look good and respect himself so much so that he doesn't allow other people to scuff his
If you
shoes.
scuff it,
He's our alpha.
Haas's TN, he's got to set a standard, right, for
Exactly.
himself, for the club.
Exactly.
And if you're going to scuff his TNs, he's going to fucking throat punch you.
And if it was Albert going, nice new shoes, bro, he's like, oh, thanks, bro. And then he goes up and just steps on them. I'm like, yeah, you get a smack for that.
That's
Yeah.
a bold call by
Yeah.
Albert.
If
Bold
that's
by
what
Albert.
happened.
You have to
if
agree
that's
with
right.
Kenty there.
Yeah, that was really funny. Even Gus Gould came out and said, I wouldn't even report it to the integrity unit. I was like, Jesus. I mean, this is a public fight. Like, probably do need to report.
Yeah, it's a public fight. It's been filmed. It's a
Probably
public fight.
need to
You
report
can't
that
have
to
to.
the
You
thing,
can't help that.
But yeah,
Club in crisis.
I agree with the sentiment of like, look, they're going to get in trouble, and then let's move on. People that are like making a huge deal about it, like saying that, oh, that means that Payne Haas doesn't want to be there. It's like, mate, it's like he's a big alpha dog. He's had a
He
few
doesn't want to
mistakes.
be there, though. That's what I think
okay.
it does look
Yeah.
like that.
So that's the way you decide to get out, is getting Albert Kelly to scuff his shoes.
No.
Get filmed
I'm
on a
saying that it's
Motorola.
a sign that Payne hates his teammates and he's just like, fucking whatever, get me out of here.
I think sometimes the big alpha boy's got to, keep the other young whippersnappers at bay.
Well, he ain't
Remind
young.
them.
Albert Kelly's older than fucking
He
Payne
went for
Haas.
a big dog,
Yeah.
30 years old.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, it does if
It's a
you're
young boy
making
keeping,
age.
the alpha keeping everyone in check.
I think Payne wants to leave. I think Broncos are in
What
turmoil.
I will say though is, and look, I don't know, like police investigating it. Like I know apparently he broke his bond. Like okay, I get it from that perspective. It's kind of like,
Oh, the police.
The police
investigate. I didn't know
investigate.
that.
I think there's probably other things to be doing.
because he,
That's such a waste of police time.
but he did well. Technically, he allegedly broke his good behaviour bond because of the incident last year where he was swearing at cops.
which was
on the
intense.
pitch, which was obviously you absolutely cannot do that. Especially, yeah.
Did the cops take into account at all the fact that his shoes were scuffed? Like, is that a defence legally?
Do you reckon
Sure.
over the radar they're like, we've got a shoe scuffing?
Dude, well, they go in there and they go, look, we're investigating a throat punch from a man who's on a good behaviour bond. It's like,
6'7".
dude, he stepped on my new white TNs. They go, oh, play on, sir.
Tell you what,
they might arrest Albert.
Payne Haas walking through pubs now, people are going to fucking step real clear of you.
Do not step on
Do
his
not
shoes.
step on his fucking
When you
shoes.
see him interviewed,
Don't
he
risk
seems
it.
like so softly spoken. And then when you see what he can do
Yeah,
when
what's
angry, you're
inside
like,
him.
oh, that is fucking terrifying.
In all seriousness, though, like he absolutely needs to like find a way to
Chill the fuck out.
bring that aggression in and only use it on the footy field. Because
Meditate.
meditate. Could you imagine that big fella meditating?
You
Because
should release like a bloke's meditation thinger. You know what I mean? Like
And
an
it's
online
big,
course.
like big alpha footy
Yeah,
players
big footy
running
players.
you through
Call it calm bloke.
calm bloke. Yeah, I mean, I'll look into it. Maybe write that down as a note. We'll take that to the other directors. And
Yeah.
we'll,
I mean, I'm literally just coming up with
pass it out.
fucking business ideas.
we
like
actually
that.
already have something planned around that route.
Well,
it's called the Good Bloke Project. It's actually already been officially created, everything like that. But we'll release that in good time.
Okay.
Sounds like my idea has just been rebranded in front of my eyes. and is now,
Yeah, we've actually already.
yeah, we already got something like that. Yeah.
Look, I
You
can-
said calm
if
bloke.
you want,
or
I
it's
can send
good
you the
bloke?
emails. I can send you the emails of
Yep. Proof will be needed.
paper trails.
We'll need to show something to the lawyers.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, look, I don't think it's a big deal, but he has got a bit of form now. Just needs to rein it in because he can be great. He can be one of the greatest ever, and I just want him to reach his potential. But yeah, back to Nicho Hynes' hair. I think that's a great shout.
So if everyone's in Terry, when he's on the ground, just give him a rub.
Scuff him up.
Well, days, give him a rub.
Or when he's trying to tackle you, head in here, drop the
Or
arm,
just
pull the jersey
wrap
over
him
his
up.
head.
Wrap
Yeah.
him up and
Just like
Yeah.
this, just go like that on him.
Could you get a
put it this way.
battery operated hairdryer out there in the fucking?
well, look, if you could hide it from the refs, I think anything's possible.
Yeah.
Well, they hit a mic on Dane Gagai, so they're probably
Yeah.
able to fit a fucking
Mate,
blow dry somewhere.
fair income. That's not a bad idea. Put it this way. Have you seen Nicho play well with dry hair?
I haven't.
Could you imagine him run out with frizzy hair?
Have you seen him? Have you seen him play well with dry hair? You haven't.
No.
So, I'd be concerned if I was Nicho.
Honestly, if I was,
He almost
a coach,
needs to play with a spray bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or someone's just got to be out there.
Well,
like,
the trainer's
trainer,
got
yeah,
trainer.
yeah.
Yeah, every
Keep
time he
him
does
wet.
a tackle, trainer runs past.
Keep him wet.
blast
Keep him
them
wet.
with the water. Like
Keep him
a
wet.
whale that's beached. You know, you got to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
them wet or they die.
Yeah. Might even need more than that. Need to run out with the hose.
That's what I was thinking.
Defending players, like if you've got some farts built up, fart on his head.
Oh, like a hot, dry fart.
what to dry. That's
To dry.
it's
That's-
interesting.
Yeah, it's an idea. I don't know.
I'm
that
thinking
Robbo's-
outside the box.
You are.
Look, it may end up on the cutting room floor, that idea, but
What, farting on his head?
we welcome all ideas. Yes.
Yes. I just think that maybe in practice it might be difficult to pull off.
Okay, so he's being held by 3 players, like on the ground. As you run past,
Well, I think you'd need to have your asshole bare for that to have any real effect, because otherwise it's got to go through layers of clothing.
Loses its.
It loses its power,
Punch.
panache.
so we've given ideas for both things. Great idea with the towels, but also trainer, carry an extra bottle, the Hynes hair, and it's mixed with hair product and water.
Yeah.
If he doesn't release a gel called Hynes hair, or hair by Hynes,
Hair by Hynes. Ooh. And then he could get into like deodorant sprays and
and the bottle
aftershave.
is just him,
Or I think some dribbler said one where it's like
like
calling
you know,
it
like the
Nicho
statue of
system.
David.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
it's-
Ooh, I like
it's
that.
Statue of
statue
Nico, and it's a bottle,
Yep. I
And
like
his
that.
dick's huge.
and it's massive.
Huge fucking dick.
Like his dick's as long
Actually,
as
the
his
spray
legs.
comes out of his cock.
The spray. That's now we are talking.
Fucked.
Yeah, you got to squeeze it.
I've almost got to like cut these bits out.
I know,
There's
'cause
such good
everyone's gonna
ideas,
steal.
and everyone's going to steal them.
Oh fuck.
It's like coming up with the computer or the iPhone.
Yeah.
Similar.
That's how I feel about
Groundbreaking.
these ideas.
It's like Bitcoin.
Toothbrush.
Toothbrush, the wheel.
Yeah.
Spoken language.
Words.
Sure. Books.
Mathematics.
Yep. Math,
Yep.
physics,
Spatula.
science, spatula.
Bro, imagine coming up with a spatula.
That
Yep.
would be good. A chair. Imagine the first bloke that made a chair.
Or a bed.
Oh, bro. Imagine
What,
having to
just went
sleep on the
like,
ground every day.
I sleep
Imagine
on
being
rocks,
like,
and now I'm on a bed.
Yo,
Spring-loaded mattress.
look at this. I just killed like 1,000 chickens and ripped all their feathers off and
Out of
boom.
bed.
The initial thing would have been like, wow, how'd you make that? I killed 1,000 chickens. They're like, dude, that's a bit fucking...
Imagine how many
And then they
ladies-
lay down, they go, okay, I get it.
Oh, I get it.
Imagine how many ladies or men. So it could have been a lady creator that like, you want to sleep with me? I may not be good looking, but look how fucking comfy my bed is. Boom.
Well,
I think that's how it
now you're
happened.
starting to look good looking.
Yeah, because you got a comfy bed. I reckon that was the first person to sleep in too. Because they would have always woke as soon as the sun comes up, pop. Whereas like you got a comfy bed, you're sleeping in past sunrise.
Maybe though, if you go to bed earlier, the sleep in is when the sun comes up. It's all about when you go to sleep. That dictates a sleep
Yeah,
in.
I did watch your yarn about this with the Mark Wahlberg thing, and I'm fully on board with that shit. Like waking up early, all you're doing is going to bed earlier. You are not cooler.
It's not. It doesn't. Nothing changes.
You are
If you
not cool.
work till 11 at night,
Yes.
and you get up at fucking 8 o'clock, you're not lazier.
You're not lazy.
You just moved your hours around
If you're
to
like-
match your life.
But
That's
Mark
all it
Wahlberg's
is.
like, I
so
get
I
up-
get up at 2. It's like,
Dude,
yeah, but you go to bed at 4
I
in
think-
the afternoon.
But getting up at 1 in the morning is the most stupid time to get up.
It's also like your REM sleep is between the hours of like definitely past 1. It's like perfect hours are like I don't know. I think it's like a 10 and like 3 or something like that. So if you're getting up at 3 o'clock, it's like, bruh, you're just going to. We've all got the same hours in the day. Like, it's just busy. The whole like, it's almost like a dick measuring contest. Like, who can wake up earlier?
Yeah. But he's taking it to the fucking extreme. Like, is he going to start getting up? He's getting up at like 11:59.
Dude, he
PM?
should, yeah. Well, he should start getting up at like 8 o'clock at night, going to sleep at like
Yeah.
10 in the morning.
Sending messages, mate. I got up at 6:50 this morning. I got up 6:49.
And then it's just gone all the way
Oh,
back.
it's a WhatsApp group. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
It's a dick measuring contest.
It's like him
with
and
his
the
mates
rocker
and
in there. And
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Dave Goggins is in there. Gary V's in there.
Yeah.
They're fucking all in there, just fucking waking up
Getting
early.
up earlier.
Yeah. Up. As soon as
Yeah.
they wake up, they just go up.
Up,
And
yeah.
like, fuck, he beat me. Fuck.
I actually don't go to sleep.
Now, don't worry. There's another segment that says, "Is it considering lifting weights for 8 hours straight if you deliver weights to a gym?" I just thought this was interesting. Like, how do you hire someone that delivers the weights?
Well,
Because it would have to be someone that does weights. So it's a very small pool of people that are willing to be weight delivery guys.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're a delivery guy, generally you're doing a lot of weights.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a very small pool. Like if you put an ad out, would you like to be a weight delivery guy? It'd be a small pool that would go. Whereas like, oh, you want to come work at a bar? It's like,
Well, do you think that you specifically only deliver weights, or do you just deliver?
Well, if you worked for a weight
Shout out to
company,
TNT, worst delivery company on the planet.
it would have to be
side
because
note.
you're picking up 20 kilo things. I would have to say you'd have to be specific, surely.
I don't
in
know
industry.
anymore. We're dealing at the moment with
Pure
delivery
assumptions.
companies, and they are fucking.
Well, I saw one today and he was jacked as fuck. And I
some
was
of them
like,
are jacked.
Yeah.
Some of them don't do their job. Some of them are shit.
You know what I
Fuck
love?
them all.
Like, delivery guys. For
Not
like
all of you.
Moving, and they're like migrants or whatever. They got a ciggy out of the thing, and they're like skinny as, but they're carrying like way heavier than I can carry.
There are delivery people
So
who
strong.
can carry. They're like Brad Parker sort of strength. Strength of a man,
Yes,
50
exactly.
times their body weight.
And they work their dicks off. I'm always so impressed when they're just like, zzz. I'm like, bro, you're actually really fit. Like
Yeah.
a farm strong.
I used to work in a like a warehouse for a mattress company, and the mark of like the heavy hitters was be able to carry a king bed on your shoulder,
Oh, fuck
like a
off.
mattress. But one guy in there could do the ensemble, which is like
What?
hard and stiff. Boom.
And the mattress, or
Not
just
at-
the
no,
base?
no, just like he could do a
his
king
shoulder.
size ensemble on his shoulder.
See, I think mattresses are actually one of the hardest things to
They
carry
wobble.
in the world.
But that
Yeah.
ensemble.
No, but they're fucking way heavier, dude. The ensembles are
No,
huge.
I agree with you.
That would
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, yeah.
I just what I'm trying to work out is how from a king ensemble.
because they've got plastic.
He's the alpha of the room.
But like I
something
can
to grab
understand
onto.
maybe mechanically how he's getting it on his shoulder, but then how are you reaching far enough up it to keep it?
Balance, dude.
Well, it's like
really
when you
impressive.
like the women in Africa that can carry like
Yeah.
and like run like
Huge
step and
things of
shit.
water
They're
on
like
their
doing
head.
this, and they got like fucking 17 plates on their head. Fucking
I tell you how you know
balanced as
it's. I
fuck.
tell you how you know you don't have it anymore. When you go down to Wollongong to move a fridge and your back's still not right a month later.
Yeah,
That's when you know. That's
Eddie's-
when you know it's
yeah.
time to give it up.
okay, yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Eddie's
with you.
back.
And I've
in
given it up.
a world
Yeah,
of
I'm
hurt.
done now.
Yeah.
I went for a run the other day. It made it feel a bit better, but
Did
now
it?
it's fucked again.
You
so
got to get your core going.
I've got to
And I mean, I
engage the
say
core.
that like I've got a core. I've never had a core, but my back's not
You are
hurting
cool,
right
though.
now. I'm cool though.
You are a cool cat, though.
Cool cut though, which is all that matters.
That's
really.
all that matters.
Yeah, when you speak to
Stubby
world
cool.
champs, you stay cool.
Yeah.
Get it done.
But to round out segment 2, Denon, I would agree with you that if you are in the delivery business, you are essentially lifting weights all day. That's
Yeah.
why you see them a lot of the time with their shirts off and they're in good nick.
Good nick. Sometimes you see some in bad nick as well, where you're like, your back is probably like, where it's like you're sort of impressed that they're able to lift what they're lifting.
Because you can be cut and strong and hot, but then you can be like old strong.
Yes.
Where
Yeah,
you've just
old
been
strong.
lifting for ages and so you're just fucking strong
Strong
by,
as shit.
time, essentially.
Time strong.
Time strong. Like old Bushy's strong. You know
Country
what I mean?
strong.
Bushy
Country
strong. Yeah, country strong.
Farm
Okay.
strong.
50-year-olds
I
that
know
are
about
fucking
Farm
strong.
strong's
My
are
old
real
man's
strong.
fucking strong.
I'm
actually.
country strong.
Shout out to him.
You're not country strong,
I think I am.
but you've never really been on a farm or anything, So
Yeah.
I'm
never
not saying
lifted-
I'm not saying you're not strong, but you're not old enough to be like country strong.
I thought
like
you
I'm
guys
talking
sound
about.
like 40.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about
you're
like
old,
50-year-olds that
but
are
like you
fucking
need to
strong.
be.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. That strong grip too. Fuck, that always
Like
scares
crush
you.
your hand.
Yeah, I got a
just-
mate's dad who's farm strong. Shout out to Dave Carter, strongest man in the game, I reckon. Strongest farmer I've ever come across. And when he shakes your hand, you're just trying to. He's not trying to crush your hand.
Yeah.
He's just shaking your hand as a strong farmer would. But it takes all of my strength and concentration and power. Just like, don't turn my hand to dust. Like I've just got to fucking grip it and rip it as
Hang
hard
in
as you
there.
can.
Hang in there.
And then hope we'll just wait for him to let go.
Stay cool, bro.
Yeah,
Stay cool. Now,
got to
Cole,
keep it cool.
Keep it cool. Stay cool. Keep
You
it
got to
cool.
stay cool, keep it cool.
Stay cool,
Stubby
keep it cool.
cooler.
Stubby cooler.
Like the cucumber.
That's
Be
it.
like the cucumber.
Was it cool? Like the cool as a cucumber was like the is cucumbers always cool?
I think it's maybe just since the invention of the refrigerator,
like
maybe.
there's other
Because I
things
would
that are
keep my
cool.
cucumbers in the fridge.
Cool as an ice cubicle.
Well, I don't know.
Ice cubicle?
Yeah, what cube? Ice
Is-
cube, sorry. Yeah, not cubicle.
Well,
My
are
bad.
you
I was like, hang on a sec.
Yeah.
It's a
Wait.
toilet. Yeah, it's a nice toilet thing.
Yeah, yeah.
are you assuming
I
it's
stole
about
it.
it being cold and not about it being a cool vegetable?
That's a great
That's
point.
true. I assumed it's coolness, which you can't do in today's
Society.
climate.
No, don't assume it's coolness.
Don't assume anyone. If you assume people's coolness,
Then
know
you're
what's
in
gonna
big trouble.
it starts with a C.
And it ends with an L.
ED.
Correct.
Now, speaking of man that's been uncancelled, he was cancelled for a bit there, but he's been uncancelled.
I like to see an uncancelling.
I love uncancellings. I love the bounce back.
I love it. It's
Because
good
you've got to
stuff.
forgive and forget and get better, baby.
That's it.
Get
Improve.
better. Made a mistake. I fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hands up. I admit it.
I admit
Move
it.
on.
Sorry, guys. I made a mistake. I'm going to be better. Kyle Flanagan returns to the Bulldogs as halfback.
KF.
He didn't even really fuck up. I mean,
Against
unless
the
the fuck up
Panthers.
is just that like he didn't play well. Yeah, great game to return for Kyle. Look, mate, we want to give you a shot. You know, we want to give you a chance to
I
earn
think
this
you can
thing
dominate
back. Yeah.
the opposing 7. I think you've got it over.
We want you up against Nathan Cleary, greatest half in the game right now.
Is this a bit of a, and you'll have to help me out here, Tom, he was short-balled into the test side because they wanted to protect
the test side?
cricket test side? It was like a bit of a scapegoat.
He was
I
given
know, I know where you're going with this.
not Rob Quiney.
Quiney. Is that what we're seeing here?
Of Rob Quiney.
Is this a Rob Quiney moment? Kyle Flanagan thrown to the wolves?
So it's like, here we go. You're going to play. We're giving you a shot to play NRL again. It's against the Premiers, and we are coming off the back of a 40-something point.
Yeah.
And we've already gone
mauling.
through 2 halves.
And we've gone through 2 halves.
we just
this
want to
season.
wrap
It's
a
round
couple
4.
up. We want to wrap
Do
a couple
they
up.
pick and stick with any one of the dogs, or are they just like shitting themselves constantly?
It's like, I'm so happy for Kyle because, you know, the negative side of it is against a hard team. The positive side, we could be talking heroics right now.
Well, it's all there for him.
It's there.
It's set up for him. If he goes out and has an absolute rip snorter, thanks for coming.
Put him on a year. 10 years.
Yeah. At least. Well, you'd get that at the Tigers. What I mean, if I'm Kyle, depending on how this game goes, because I know the next part of this segment 3 here is also Leeds Rhinos interested. I'd be going, fucking see you later. Get me over to the Super League. Let me get some Man of Steels. Do a Jackson Hastings. Get over there and fucking, you know, get your mojo back.
He's been a bit of a trailblazer in that way, Jackson Hastings, showing you what's possible. Go over there, win some steals, come back.
Well, I'd say Jamie Lyon did it first, but I hear you.
As a half. But, you know,
I wonder, actually, was Jamie playing half over in the Super League?
He was playing whatever he
He's
wanted to
playing
play.
whatever
I think he
wanted
played
to.
whatever position he
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah.
Every week he'd change. About Kyle, though, and about the Dogs, now, Tom and I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No.
So we need to ask someone that sort of does in Den and Camp.
Sort of.
What is Trent up to? It's week 5. This is the 3rd or 4th half.
So it's round 4, I think.
Is it round 4?
It's round 5.
Oh, round
round
5. Apologies.
Yeah, you've lost 3 straight
Sorry,
games.
there's been 4 rounds, yeah. So,
Like-
yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, 5 rounds.
Oh, 2
It
straight games,
seems
sorry.
it seems odd that this
Same
is
place on
happening.
the table as you, essentially. Sorry.
No, we're above you.
We're above you.
Essentially, though, that's what
Well, what's the
essentially.
essentially? Take essentially out of it.
Are we on the
and
same
then
points?
You're lying.
Are we on the same points?
Well, is that going to get you a minor premiership?
We're not get both of us.
But
aren't
what I'm
getting
saying
one.
is-
If the comp was called now, who would be above the other?
Oh, I thought we don't call comps early.
I'm saying if it was.
You're saying we're essentially on the same point in the ladder, which is not the case because we're above you. Unless we were literally same differential, same win,
Essentially, you know what essentially means?
Yeah,
in
but
that
that's a caveat. So caveats are for.
But I did that. Well,
pussies.
that was a caveat. I literally said essentially.
Yeah, well, so that's wrong though, right? Because we're ahead of you. So
But
we
I
can
said
go
essentially, so it's
Yeah.
not because it's saying in the rough area.
Right, but so then
are.
we can say that literally we're ahead of you. You
But
can say
you
essentially.
also
we can say
literally,
literally.
you were last the other week, and when I said
The other week. Sorry.
when
Are we
I
going
said
back
if
in
we
time?
called the comp now, you'd win the
We going back
spoon.
in
You
time?
said you don't call comps early.
I feel
That's
like
what
we're
you
going
said.
back in time. I feel like we're going back in time.
That's what you
Right
said.
now we are ahead of you on the ladder. And it's looking bad for Broncos fans.
But yeah, back to Flano. Yeah, it is interesting. Like round 5, they've gone through Avarillo. They got Wakeman up there, who I thought Wakeham was good last week.
Yeah.
I thought he
like
played with a
Wakeham.
bit of mongrel.
Yeah,
I like Wakeham.
because like,
Put on some shots.
and you know,
Liked
that was
it.
a tight game with Manly. Like you guys are technically a premiership threat. So, you know, one game against a red hot Melbourne Storm, not red hot Manly.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if that's red hot, you can call that red hot if you want.
No, but I know what you mean. Dry track, red hot Melbourne.
It's a red hot
Tough.
Storm, and Wakeham gets dropped. Boom. It's like,
It
wow.
seems like that, like, there's a lot of pressure put on Sevens at the Dogs. Like, in the terms of, like, they got pumped across the park, clearly.
Yeah.
But the 7 gets changed. Did they make any other, like, drastic changes to that side, or is it all
Is
pretty much-
Avarillo still in the centres?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. There must be something internally going on that we aren't aware of. Like, that they're seeing something that we're not. Because, like, Barrett knows his footy. Like, he's a gun footy player.
Is
He
it
knows his
potentially
footy.
Burton not vibing with them?
Maybe,
Is that potentially what it is?
That could be it. But I'm just, first of all, I was shocked that Avarillo got dropped because I was like, it's been like 2 rounds, very tight losses.
Yep.
Then he gets dropped, and he was training there all year, but then comes back in as centre, which I think he is a centre and he should have been there from the get-go. But anyway, they bring Wakeham in, and then he gets dropped after 2 games. It's like, how's Burton ever supposed to build that? What do you got there?
So Avarillo's centre and Wakeham's 14.
Man, it's just...
And Bailey Biondo's out.
Yeah, look, I don't know, man. I just feel like when you're already pretty much at the bottom, the only thing you can do is try to create combinations.
Has Kyle been playing good New South Wales Cup?
Yeah.
He's second for try assists.
Oh,
Maybe Trent's seen something he likes. Don't know.
But I mean, like, even in the trials, bro, he got, in the last trial for Bulldogs, he got like 5 minutes, bro. Like, he is on good wicket to be their 7.
Can I equate this to parenting for a moment? I don't know if you know I have 2 children, but the Bulldogs to me right now are like a crying baby, right? And if you're trying to settle a crying baby, the worst thing to do is fucking constantly change what you're doing. You got to pick and stick. You got to find a thing that's working and then just bounce that motherfucker until.
What if it's not working?
Well, you've got to give it time to work.
Okay.
You have to give it time to work. You have to know when to change, but in the first 4 rounds, you should be bouncing a baby a little bit longer than that in a certain position before you just go and, all right, let's try and, do we need to check the nappy? Do we need to rewrap him? Do we need to do this? It's too much going on there. You need to bounce a baby a little bit longer than that.
Need to bounce a baby, baby.
Yeah.
No, I agree. What I was surprised with, if I was at the Dogs last year, I would have had Flanagan in there at 7 the whole year, fully preparing for Burton. So, like, I would have already looked at Burton, the way he plays, already spoken to him, like, privately, obviously not to affect his Panthers thing, and I would have said, mate, how do you want to play? He would have told me, I would have gone back and said, all right, we are going to play exactly the game plan that suits Burton for this whole season, because, like, you know, Bulldogs were never going to make the 8 last year, or like, you know, make a push. So prepare for when Burton does come. But right now, it looks as though the Bulldogs, although they have a better roster, are in the same boat as they were 14 months ago. They're no closer to finding out who the guy is to partner Burton. They're actually further away from that.
When you look at, like, Addo-Carr, his form, I'm not like saying he's not in form. I guess you can speak to that more as a winger, but, like, it's interesting how he is an Origin Australian winger when he's at the Storm, or just generally he is that. But then, like, when you're at a shit club, no disrespect, your opportunities to shine are diminished significantly. Does that mean, like, that wingers are almost like there's an argument to be made where, like, if you're a winger in a good side, that you could potentially look better than you are, but also if you're a great winger in a shit side, you may never play representative footy because you're playing with a pile of shit side.
Yeah, no, that's why the argument of you don't spend a lot of money on wingers.
Yeah.
Because it's all dependent. You can have a guy like Addo-Carr who is one of the greatest wingers of all time, literally, like cemented one of the greatest. But doesn't matter how you're going. If you don't have a 7 that is leading you around, if you don't have a forward, even though I thought Doggy's forward pack was really good, but if you don't have halves that can deliver you good pill, it's like the only people that break that mould are guys like Manu Vadavai, Semi Radradra, because they're such big, huge athletes. They can just, like, have barnstorm line breaks. They can be like another front rower, but there's also downsides to that. They can be, you know, struggle under the high ball. So it's a trade-off. But yeah, if you're a winger, usually in a side that's struggling, you're never going to play good footy because you just don't have the opportunity to, unless one of your biggest assets is your ball running out of trouble. That's, you know, like, for example, Brian To'o at the Bulldogs would still be putting up massive meters because that's his biggest strength. Whereas the Fox's biggest strength is half opportunities. He turns them into full opportunities and gets the job done. And so that's where people were a bit like, well, Fox is awesome to bring to the club, but if we don't have money to get a 7 to get him the ball, how's he going to shine?
And even a bit with Saab, where, like, he hasn't had many opportunities this season, where last year, like, he was fucking killing it, right?
Yeah.
And turning the half opportunities into full opportunities, but just not having many or any really so far this year. You don't get to see him doing his thing.
Yeah. No, it's you're very reliant on your inside men. That's why you spend so much money on your core people, your fullback, your half, your hooker, and your 13, because that is truly so cliche, but that's the spine of the team. If the spine's not going well, no one else is going well. Like, the Bulldogs forward pack was better than the Melbourne Storm's forward pack for the first half. They dominated field position. They had like 25 tackles inside the Storm's half, whereas the Storm had like 3. And so what's the forward's job? It's to win field position. So they won that battle, but because they don't have a spine that seems to be working well, they're
spineless.
They're spineless.
Spineless.
And not in the coward way, but just in the they don't have a spine.
Well,
together.
in the literal way.
Yes, but not. But then they have a crack. That's the doggies had a massive crack on the weekend.
Oh, they have a fucking crack.
They're
not ticklers.
They're not ticklers.
No.
That's you get perfect.
Not ticklers.
Key distinction.
Key distinction. So,
Well,
I'm
look,
stoked for Flano.
I wish Flano all the best. He's had a rough couple of years in terms of, leaves the Sharks, goes to the Roosters, all's looking well. Then he gets fucked off. Then he goes to the Dogs, all looking well. They're not well. Then he gets dropped. And now he's back. This could be it, maybe, for Kyle.
Well,
Who
it
knows?
also, to the point of like, you looked at the Roosters situation. I think they came fourth that year or around that. And people thought that, they had a bit of a failure or didn't play that well. And some people blamed it on Flanagan not playing that well. But in hindsight now, you would say that, no, actually Flanagan was playing pretty well. Like Roosters, since their back-to-back premierships, have hovered around the 4th, 5th and 6th mark
Good point.
when he wasn't there. So, like, he actually was doing his job at the Roosters. Now, clearly they wanted to make room for Walker, which is, what the Roosters, that's their choice. But
hard to come in after Cooper Cronk as well.
massively.
You know what I mean?
They're still trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
So
And they were trying to figure it out, no disrespect to Mitch, before Cooper came.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
were like, just a bit short, just a
Yeah.
bit short,
Yeah.
just a bit short. Then Cooper comes, an all-time fucking
Yep.
stud, wins them 2, and then fucks off.
Did he win 2 then fuck off, or did he play? Like, did he retire after the second, or did he play one more season then
He
retire?
played.
he played 2 and fucked off.
So he just that's right. His
he
last
won
3
three-
years.
he won
his
3
last
comps
3
in a
years-
row.
Yeah, yeah.
But Roosters, like, don't get me wrong,
Just
Cooper,
outrageous.
It's outrageous. Cooper Cronk, massive signing. But you have to remember, Teddy also was signed when Cooper Cronk was signed as
Yeah,
well.
they both started at the same time,
And I think Fergie Ferg? Nah, Fergie was before that.
Wasn't
sorry.
Teddy already there?
No, they came at the same time. That's what everyone's blowing up. They're like, how you can sign Teddy and Cronk at the
You're
same
right.
time?
Yep.
It's a great question. No one's answered it.
But like, if you added those two to
Cooper took
any
unders.
team, if you added those two to any team, there'd be a premiership threat.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, you know?
But I mean, specifically, it
Cronk is
seems
incredible.
like if you are someone like Cooper who plays 7 and
He's that
touches the
extra
footy
step.
all the time, it's like,
Yeah.
mate, anything's possible with a player like him, you know?
For sure. Like, I honestly believe, like, Nathan Cleary is so good right now, he could take any team to finals footy.
100%.
Any team to finals
100%.
footy. Because we have to remember
100%.
that Panthers side was in and out of finals footy. They were at 4th, but then dropped out. And then he has taken them now to a full-blown
His kicking
throbbing-
game alone
Oh.
could take you to a fucking
Mate.
finals contention. He just kick into submission.
But they're all. But it's also like the quality of the players that are around him has like their quality has increased as he's helped them all get better or whatever. Like however that works, but because like they still ripped and teared without him for the first 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Like everyone has risen like that, and he has been, I guess, the rising tide for everyone. It's like, I think it's similar to the way Joey did with the Knights. Like he really rose that team, and all of those guys started playing Origin. Like, you got Deerish, you got Robbie. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all the boys around him lifted with him.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with Cleary. Like all the boys around him lifted him. Before they started going on their run, they didn't have a single Australian rep. And they only had one Origin rep. Now they've got 5 or 6.
Crazy.
And all those players were there before. Like they didn't get recruited and then became outside of Capewell.
And they lost 2 of their studs in Capewell and Burton.
Yeah, and you haven't heard a thing about them.
They don't what?
Crazy. Here's a good example. Burton. Burton goes to Doggies, and it just all depends on the team around you. Burton hasn't been anywhere near as good as he would be at, say, the Panthers, because the team is just not the same level. Like so.
It's always going to take time, though, right?
Oh,
Like,
for sure. But
especially in the Bulldogs' position.
He's also
like
playing in the halves,
Yeah.
right? Like, which obviously means he has more opportunity to dictate how the game goes.
This is a defensive Burton. Like this is me saying, like,
yeah.
No, 100%.
it's going to take time for him to do what he does.
But surely they need to be having an eye to what does next year look like when Kickout comes in, Reid Marnie comes here. Like,
That's what I
they
thought.
want to have this shit fucking ironed out. They don't want to be chopping
But
and
don't you
changing.
reckon-
Don't you reckon
I
they
100% agree.
Like, fucking almost throw this year away and go,
Flano,
let's
Burton.
fucking work
Yeah.
out who the fucking 7 is.
Yeah.
So next year we can have a proper crack.
I agree. I reckon it should be Flano and Burton. You just stick to that no matter what.
But they obviously don't think they don't rate Flano. They mustn't. Like, he's been in and out of the side. He's played less games than he's played for him, right?
But maybe they're wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe they're wrong.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not saying that I have even slight idea, but it just seems like they don't rate him. So why don't they stick with fucking Wakeham? Like, why don't they stick with whoever? Pick and stick.
But surely there's enough. Surely there's enough there, and it gets a bit nuanced to my eye when I'm looking at a half like Flanagan. Like, surely there's enough there for the Roosters to fucking buy him in the first place, or for the Bulldogs to fucking pay big money for him.
And at Cronulla, he was.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's what they bought him for too.
There's something there.
Yeah, something.
There has to be.
That maybe. Yeah, I don't know. There has to be more. There definitely is more to it because I think Flano has already a track record of at least being at NRL standard. So anyway, good luck to Flano. I really hope he bounces back. Now, the Leeds Rhino rumour is interesting. I actually said this last year on the potty. I said Flano should just go to Super League. Get your mojo back. Because right now, it's like a poison chalice. It's almost, even if he is playing good in New South Wales Cup, because he can't make the team that is the wooden spoon, other teams might be like, what is going on there? Yeah. You know, like there must be something that we don't know about, even if that's not true. It's just the image that is being portrayed.
Well, Austin Powers taught us the importance of one's mojo.
He
did. Did he not?
No, he did.
He needs to watch a bit of Austin Powers.
He needs to. What, the Spy Shags Me? Is that the one where he loses his mojo?
Well, no, he loses the mojo, International Man of Mystery,
the first one.
and gets it back.
Is that what we're looking at?
He gets it back, Tom.
Well, he gets it back, but will Kyle get it back? And I mean,
Will
is Austin Powers
really
English? Yes, he is. Kyle needs to go to England to find his mojo.
Well, there you go.
Well, mojo must be found in England.
Well, Austin really struggled without his mojo. When he got it back, he went on one of the great rips and tears.
Yeah, a 3-film tear.
So maybe that is what it is. Kyle, go over to the Leeds, win a man of steel, get your mojo back, and then come back to the Tigers.
There you go.
Partner Hastings.
Partner Hastings of the Tigers.
That's great.
The Mojo Man.
The Mojo Man. That's what they need.
Oh, fuck.
That's what the Tigers need. A couple of Mojo Men.
It's weird about comedy how, like, if you released Austin Powers today, it would be so cringe.
Possibly, but I think if you go back and watch it, it holds up. Like, it's still pretty funny. The first one, anyway.
Do you reckon it would be as much of a pop culture hit if it was released
Maybe
today?
not. Maybe not.
I just think comedy moves so quickly.
Comedy also, there aren't really many comedy movies.
No, they don't get made anymore.
They're all like
That's
just
true.
rom-coms and shit,
Well,
which I'm
do you
not
reckon it's because
against,
they're too
but,
scared in this climate?
Well,
Yes.
Joe Rogan reckons that the last good comedy was The Hangover.
Yeah, that was the last old school, like...
And cancel culture has, like, basically
Fucking just
killed the
smothered
genre.
anything.
Well, they couldn't do that today. Holy shit.
No. Same with like
Hangover.
Superbad. You watch Superbad, you're like, oh, this movie gets you
Superbad
cancelled.
is fucking genius.
Yeah,
It's
it's
such a
still
good
so
fucking
good.
movie.
I watched it the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, when I say the other day, it was like 2 or 3 months ago on a DVD player.
Wow.
Which made it a really... Just made it
Were
authentic.
you on
Yeah,
holidays
I like
and there was a
that.
DVD player at the
Did you go
place?
to
And they had
There you
Superbad,
go.
and we
There
put
you
it
go.
in, and I fucking loved it. I can't tell you how much
But
I
I think
laughed.
that's the only time I would watch a DVD is if you go on a holiday and it's like
If there's a
place you stay-
DVD
the
collection
Airbnb has
and a DVD player,
There's
you're
something
like,
about it.
fucking oath, and you go through them. What about
Yeah.
this one? What about this? It was good fun.
Yeah.
And you put it in, you go through the menu at the start. It's got the extras.
The ads.
yeah.
There was ads at the start. Like,
Really?
don't pirate this video. I'm like,
with the music. Yeah, how good. Would you
Love
steal
it.
a car? Would you steal a car?
Don't steal a
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Ironically, I'm watching a pirated DVD from Thailand, so it's fucking, what are you going to do?
Well, it wasn't pirate.
No, but that, when you watch all those pirated
What about like pirates getting a bad name? It's like robbing. Why wouldn't you say
pirates-
robbing?
Well, because pirates were bad.
Yeah, but like pirates are a specific set of people. Wouldn't you say like stealing or robbing? Duplicate.
Because a robber is a pirate.
Yeah, I mean,
But a
pirate
robber can
sounds
also
cooler.
be other things. Whereas like a pirate, there would have been good pirates out there.
That's true. There are probably some good robbers, though.
No, but like robbing in itself is an act that is bad. Whereas like pirates, if you can
I think
pirate
that
the
pirates,
sea-
when pirates were pirates weren't good.
Yeah.
Well,
There is-
I think they needed to, I could be wrong here, but pirating, before it was termed pirate, was so rife that they needed a good name to sort of...
Branding it.
They needed
Good
to
branding.
brand it
Yeah, okay.
to woo it up.
I tell you one of the great fucking shows all time, with one of the great speeches all time, Black Sails.
Never.
Mate, it is fucking so
Never.
good.
I thought you were going to say Seinfeld.
No. We're talking about pirates here.
I
This
think
is
it's
a
like
pirate.
Black Mirror
This-
when you said black. I don't know.
Oh, we're on pirates.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
it's
this is
Black
a
Sails.
pirate
I thought
show.
you'd shifted to
No,
like
shifting.
just generally.
Just shows.
We're
No,
back.
bad delivery. We're still on pirates.
Sure,
It's
sure,
a pirate
sure.
show.
Yep.
All time.
Black Sails?
Black Sails.
What year?
Fucking great.
Like, how old is it?
Oh, 5, 6, 7,
Where can I watch it?
10 max.
I can just Google it. I'll find I'll probably
Mate,
think
everywhere. Can
Everywhere. You can
it's
literally
called
watch
Black
it
Sails,
everywhere.
I'm pretty sure. It's the same guy that made Vikings, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's fucking so good.
Not to be mistaken for Viking Quest, which was Johnny Drama's show.
That's right, an Entourage. Shout out to
So
Entourage.
as in Black Sails, the series.
Yeah.
It was made in 2014, and you can watch it on Stan.
Okay. I've got
Great,
Stan.
mate. I'm telling you. Give that first few episodes, let it
Time to
linger,
marinate.
get through it. Promise you, it's one of the best. It's one of the best TV shows ever made.
Okay,
Is it about Caribbean pirates?
It's
like
it's
pirate
based
pirates?
loosely. It's the prequel to Gilligan's Island.
We've also got a show that you need to watch. Everyone out there, one of the great shows, Lux Listings.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Okay, Lux Listings.
Lux
Could you
Listings.
check that Gilligan's Island
Sydney-based real estate agents, most of them under 4 foot, and they love real
Cash.
estate and cash and veneers.
How much do you reckon they're gone over their amount of money they should be spending on their cars, their clothes, everything? How much do you reckon they're over? What's the
I
word?
think these guys are making serious money.
Yeah, I think they
think
make a lot
they're-
of money.
I don't
But
think-
it can be like this. Overextend yourself.
Yeah, not in Sydney though. It seems the places they're selling are like $25 million houses and shit. So like,
Jeez.
they seem to be wrong. We were looking it up actually. Me and the missus. Apparently, old Gav is worth like 50 million.
Good on him.
Oh, so these guys are the top tier guys.
Oh,
the
yeah,
top-
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought these
yeah,
were
yeah.
like just
No,
your
these
everyday
are
guys.
like
they've gone to like the
Okay.
well,
big
some of the
dogs.
tops.
You know what I reckon's funny is like people that work in like prestigious car yards, and like you're just a normal person on a normal wage, but you have to be like pretend you're all rich and shit because you're dealing with rich people, but you're
Yes.
just like
But
It'd
you're
be
just-
like being in the rental game.
yeah,
It's like
Or
I'm
selling
getting
like-
tarred with the real estate brush, but I'm only
just renting.
Or
just
like
doing
people who are
rentals.
selling fucking like really. I mean, I guess the same with cars, like watches. You're selling like fucking Rollies and shit, and you're just working.
You're just
here,
a
though, aren't
normal
you?
dude, but they present really well. You're like, oh, you must be rich too, but in reality, you're just retail.
yeah. It's a good point.
You know what I mean?
It's like the bloke that works at fucking Gucci. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you must be loaded. Oh, wait, you're only on $20 an hour.
Yeah, you're just a normal person like the
You're
rest
getting
of us.
reamed.
You're getting the rimmy.
Yeah.
Getting rimmied.
You're getting rimmied.
Well,
you're
that's
rimming.
not-
No,
it's
but
positive.
rimmies can be enjoyable.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're rimming someone else.
I don't think you're getting rimmied, sadly. I think you're probably having to give your boss a rimmy.
Which is Gucci.
You're giving
He's about
Gucci a
90
rimmy,
years
yeah,
old.
yeah.
And
whatever
your
it
boss
was.
isn't in good nick.
No.
Not a
No,
Gucci.
no,
He'd be
no,
about 100.
no.
I always walk past this, is it Bentley car yard?
Bentley.
Yeah, it makes me angry. Like, fuck those guys, but also I want one.
Oh, I'd love one.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Driving around in a Bentley is a real statement, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
fuck.
See those dudes rolling around him, you're like, holy shit, bro. Like,
Okay, next I want to get to a guy that we know would love a Bentley. We know he would love a Bentley. I want to show you one of the great.
He's definitely owned one.
Are we allowed to swear?
So people listening, the radio's going off while Kyrgios is playing.
You wonder why no one watches this?
What's that got to do with the
I know.
fucking radio?
Possible. A fourth round of Miami, the biggest tournaments, and you guys just can't do your job. It's embarrassing.
Congratulations, both for like on the final fans.
code violation's so unnecessary.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings?
Did I hurt your
Bro,
feelings?
you literally said I'm not doing my job.
What is unsportsmanlike?
Look at him screaming, bang.
This.
And Kyrgios comes undone. Game penalty.
That's what I love, where he's still trying to keep it cool, but then like he's angry at this guy. Like him slamming his racket onto the ground is a child not being able to control their sort of like when they've they've been told they can't have
when you
like
just lose it?
candy at the
You know,
store.
when you just like, fuck it. I'm going.
Yeah.
That's what he just did.
Hey, no, his top's blown off, and he's like, fuck the lot of ya. And then when he's had the big blow up trying to pretend like he was talking to his mate, it's like, no, you weren't,
No.
bro. He's like, but even if you were, you're talking about me.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, well, nah. And then you boom, boom. Gives up the game, and it's, all downhill from there.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I love the king. I mean, I've fully accepted the fact that this guy, he's wild. He's never going to... he may reach his potential, but I don't think he gives a fuck.
His potential is probably Well, his
be one of the
idea
greats.
of like what his potential is probably just comfortable now.
What we're watching, what we see with the King is that's what like raw, unbridled, natural talent looks like.
Yeah.
Like that's it. There's no training.
Yeah.
There's no ethic there. There's no like fucking cool and calm like Tom under
There's
pressure.
no Tom in him.
He's got no Tom about
You know what I
He'd
mean?
fight Alex if he went.
That's just natural talent. Bang, there it is.
Yeah.
I don't have natural talent.
Arguably, he's arguably got the most natural talent of all time.
Yeah. Oh fuck! It's just.
Could you imagine if he had Nadal's discipline?
Oh my god! I mean,
Federer's
look at his
poise.
physique as well. He's like fast twitch, like all of those things that you no matter how hard you try genetically. Like look at it, like Nadal and Federer physically are nowhere near him when it comes to their physical stature and what.
He
they can
also
do
has the
athletically.
worst posture of anyone in sport. I think he's always walking around. I'm like, bro, you need to put your shoulders back. It's making my back hurt just
it's-
looking at you.
I've got bad posture, and I'm always like that, and I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
but like everyone, I get that. Like I can still be like a bit hunched, but his is
He's going to be doing
just
potty.
constantly like.
But I don't think he cares. He's like,
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
as if he's going to fucking lift it back.
Well, but long term, there's probably some spinal issues if you don't put your shoulders back. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm saying as if he's going to.
Oh, he'll know. Well, I think he puts his shoulders forward 'cause he thinks it looks cool.
Now I've
Yeah.
got another. Did you guys get a
all
chance
about
to watch the great Dane Gagai mic'd up?
I did.
How good was this?
I forgot.
Good luck, mate. Have a good one, eh?
This is on Fox League, by the way, everyone, on their Instagram.
Hold the plane, hold the plane. Hold the plane here.
Oh, bruh.
Did you enjoy? Actually, now you know what the contact's like.
Yeah, but just hearing like the grunting and shit, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Get him off.
I think it was
to
great
me,
so
okay?
fans could see
want me to
how
move? Do you want me to
physical
move
it
up?
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look how athletic he is.
Yeah, he's
Like,
good.
He's a beast, dude.
Talakai's a fucking animal.
That
He's
dude's
a,
a pro.
he's a rugby league handful.
He's a rugby league
my
handful.
God.
Look at his legs, dude.
This contact with Talakai is crazy.
So much grunting and
That's what I like.
so intense.
Nothing in my life gets me to grunt like that. You know what I mean? There's just this physical.
Man, that made
footy,
me,
let's
when
go,
I
our
watched it, I
footy.
was like, I just want to fucking headbutts. Like,
Did it just make you want to get back out? Oh, you're getting a bit violent.
But like, I just miss the days of like, you got a wrestling
recover,
session,
lad.
you're all fucking
That
ready
was
to
you
go.
there.
And even if you
Save
get
it.
dominated, you're still just getting amongst it.
I feel like there's a
cuts.
part of that. Obviously,
Still in and
women
amongst
as
it.
well,
Just
but like
fucking
there's something
get it
I
in
think
there.
with men, and I feel like that's what Fight Club was kind of about. Great film.
Great
There
film, all
is
time.
a like you kind of need some sort of physical outlet. You know, like it doesn't have to be, and kind of adversarial. Not just like going by yourself and doing the gym or like
Well,
going
think
for
about
there's
it like
just
this.
something about like
Competition.
needing to
Yeah.
fucking
Competition.
Well, think about it like this, like
compete.
throughout hundreds of thousands of years, if you weren't good at physical contest, war, you get killed. So the people that survive, their genetics would be predispositioned to want to be aggressive, to I
Yeah.
guess want to be part of contests
Killed
and
or
stuff
just
like
like not chonged.
that. Not chonged, exactly.
Bit of both.
Bit of
Yeah,
both.
bit of both.
And
Column A,
so
column
like
B.
for hundreds of thousands
It's
of
an
years,
interesting
it's been
way of thinking about it.
bred into us for hundreds of thousands of years that the natural
Sounding some
selection.
great warriors.
Yeah, and now we're
Certainly
all
don't feel like that.
no.
No, not at all. But what's crazy is
Although
like,
I do rip a fucking pterodactyl tag.
You do rip a
Which has been
pterodactyl
called out for 3 weeks in a row. Shout out to the rain. Fucking pissing us off.
But yeah, watching that just made me. That was so sick. I hope they do more of that. It also.
I
done
want
it
one of them
before.
a week.
Yeah, 100%.
I want one a week.
Yeah.
So make sure to go to @Fox League to check that out, guys. This is the stuff I love from Fox League. That only they could. Well, Nine could do it too, but like Fox does some really good stuff, and this is fucking hectic.
There's a lot of grunt in there, and it's fucking good to
Lot
hear.
of grunt.
What's Rusty's band like? 50,
30 odd foot of grunt?
30. That was 30 odd foot of grunt.
Oh, yeah.
80 odd foot. 80 odd minute
Actually, I
of
think
grunt.
he changed it. It was 30 odd foot of grunt, and then he turned it to the ordinary fear of God.
Really? I like the grunt one.
The grunt one was way better.
And then I think to acronymed was TOFOG.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the grunt one. I'm a fan of the grunt
Tofog,
one.
sure.
I also liked how you could see the contact now, because even with when you watch boxing on TV, it looks hectic, but when you actually go and watch a boxing fight live, you've seen a boxing fight
No.
live, haven't you? You've never seen one?
Well,
Oh, yeah?
I have, but I've never been ringside.
Oh, bro, it's a different it's such a different.
We're going to
beast.
be trying to deep throat anyone we have to deep throat to get ringside for Cambosis.
Actually, I was going to say, I might be able to get you tickets for tonight if you want, if you're not doing anything. It's like, you got kids, you can't
A
go.
little bit late notice.
Sorry, bro.
It's all right. We're going to Newcastle tomorrow for Manly Newcastle, so I can't get too many fucking nights off, you know?
Oh, okay.
Getting the limo up there.
Yeah, stretch
you're getting a limo up there?
Stretch.
Stretch limo?
I don't know.
A stretch limo's cool anymore?
I don't.
That's the point.
That's the point, you know? They are.
You're like ironically doing it.
Well, it's
Look, it is
nicer than-
ironic, but then also when you're in them,
it's cool.
like, this is
Yeah,
rather
like-
comfortable.
And people outside are just haters.
Well, so Michael
We can
Pride.
lay down and
it's
shit.
us v Michael Pride this weekend, right?
There's a
Manly
bar in there,
Are
bro.
Newcastle.
you really getting a limo up?
yeah,
100%.
There's a bar
Are you
in
filming it in that?
Yeah,
Fucking oath we're
and we're
filming it.
making.
Fuck yeah.
we're-
It's me and
he's
Tom versus the Pride.
The Pride's Michael's brother,
okay.
and I think the guy's got to stay over the night in Newcastle because we also are getting it back.
That's
We're
fucking
getting it back in the morning. It's going to be
Hungover.
loaded
That's
with Maccas.
mad.
But there is a bar in there, Dennett.
You're going to load it with Maccas with him in the car? He'll fucking
I
throw up.
don't know. I haven't touched Macca's since, and I don't.
Well,
know
what
that
are we
I
going to
will.
get in the morning? We're getting Maccas.
Yeah, I might.
I'm
yeah.
getting Hungry Jack's breakfast. That
Yeah,
tastes
I
like
might
shit.
just get a bacon
Sausage
egg
and
off the
egg.
cafe. Yeah, it's true. I
Bacon
just want to
egg.
eat cheese.
Bacon
You
egg.
don't have to get a
Or you can get
cheeseburger.
the sausage and bacon. Reach out, Macca's, for fuck's
Also,
sake.
before we forget, this Sunday we're doing a Hello Sport
Hello
Live
Sport
at
Live.
the new studio.
At the new studio.
New
Is it the unveiling of the new studio?
No,
It's the unveiling of part of it.
Part of it.
Okay. How good? I mean, congratulations, boys.
Thanks,
Thank
New
you.
studio.
Thank you. Thank
It
you.
brings a tear to the eye to see the young whippersnappers coming up in the world.
It
You know
does.
what? You
It does.
bloody, you saw some young chicks there and you started vomiting into our mouth and then you sort of, you know. Feed us, Dad. Now.
I just know how
But
hard
Dennett,
it is.
that was why we wanted you to be there first,
For
mate.
the first.
I
You're there
appreciate
for
it.
the unveiling.
I appreciate
It'll
it.
be
What a
nice.
moment.
Obviously, we're doing the UFC
Volkanovski.
card,
Yep.
273. Volkanovski, Korean Zombie, some other fucking ripper fights on it. 12 p.m.
Hamzat, bro. Hamzat and
There's three
Burns.
hectic
Mate, there's
fights.
Yeah.
six. The main card is 6 fights of
Yeah.
like pure joy.
Pure
Yeah.
joy. No,
Starts at 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Eastern time.
So be there 12 p.m. on the YouTube Hello Sport YouTube page. We'll put some posts up during the week. But yeah, stoked for you to the studio. I just know what it's like when you're working your dick off and no one will give you a crack. When I was coming through, so when I saw you guys working your dick off and you got talent,
You started and
I was
vomiting
just
into our
like,
mouth. It
these
was
guys
nuts.
deserve to be fucking doing this full time because they're talented. So I'm
We
stoked.
appreciate you, bro.
Stoked for you, boys. Stoked for you. Yeah, Gagai mic'd up. I want to see more of it. We've already spoken about Haas versus Kelly. What do you think punishment wise, if you had to?
Fine.
I think it's fine.
Fine and move on.
And probably a fucking dressing down.
Yeah, just in there.
And maybe Albert's
Take
got
your
to clean the
shoes off.
shoes.
Privately. I think fine and some kind of like community stuff, like with kids
Yeah.
about like you shouldn't fight,
Yep.
rah.
Yep.
Worst case, if you want it to be like super hardcore, one game max. Anything over one game
Yeah.
is insane to me.
Yeah.
Do you think that there should also be some? I don't know how they're dealing with Haas internally at the moment, off the back of that cop stuff, and now this. But like, they sort of need to get to the bottom of these blow-ups.
If I can give Haas, if I
Yeah,
can be devil's advocate
sure.
for Haas without, and again, it was the greatest disappointment of this was that whoever filmed was such a pussy they didn't film for longer. But Haas looked like
I mean,
he
if
was.
Haas is swinging them, you don't feel for
well,
very
yeah,
long.
he's behind. Haas doesn't know. You're just like, but
Yeah, but you don't know that he like glanced
Turns
over
around,
and you're like,
turns around.
oh, and then I
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
that bit
yeah,
out,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
fucking drop the
Walking
camera.
over.
Yeah. You just pissed
but anyway,
yourself.
he didn't look like the aggressor at any point. Like Albert was coming at him, and he looked like he was sort of just like, bruh. And apparently, he wasn't pissed.
I mean, he did punch him in the face.
Yeah, but that's because he kept coming at him.
He's like, at
But he
no
also
point did
didn't
Albert
punch him in the
Kelly-
face. You look at that, he throats him. And you can hear Albert kind of go, ah. That's what I reckon.
Are you sure?
That's my belief.
I
Is
think
that
you
it wasn't
might
a
need to.
punch.
I need
Is
to
that
need
your
to
truth?
rewatch.
That's my truth, is there wasn't a punch.
It's at the very minimum a face punch
Yeah,
like that,
but like
which
it's
is
a-
just as hard.
Nah, but it's the intent, right? If Payne was being the aggressor, he would have cracked him.
A 6'6" bloke
But he's got this nippy little asshole
that
in his
hasn't thrown a
face.
punch.
But this guy's in his face. Like, what are you meant to... There is a point where you sort of push him
Fucking walk away.
He was holding him,
That's
bro.
not how he does
was
it.
holding him. Look
You
at the
reckon
video.
Payne Haas can't disentangle himself from Albert Kelly?
Of course, but you're seeing Albert Kelly getting up in his fucking grill. Like,
So
I don't
better
think it
whack
was
him.
that bad. He didn't whack him.
So
I
fucking
don't think he
bold.
whacked him. I think it's an over.
I think it's extremely clear that Kelly was pissed,
Yeah.
being a pest.
Yeah.
And in a normal world where Haas is just a young man, you're like, okay, no harm, no foul. But
If that wasn't
if
in
you're
the
paying-
foyer of the wherever,
Yeah, but, as a young man that's already had issues, you just got to be a bit better and walk away from it. He has so much to live up to when it comes to... He can be great. He has greatness to live to. He needs to be great. He can be great. I know what you're saying, though. Like, when you really look at it, okay, he face-pushed him. At the very worst, he face-pushed him. We didn't see what else happened. Apparently, there's more footage on the CCTV footage.
release the footage.
But yeah, I agree with you guys. I find maybe some school stuff with teaching young kids that look up to Haas, like this is not how you handle things. At the most hectic, I don't think a game suspension. That's probably too hectic. But if they were to do that, I don't think it's hectic to me. But I could understand where they're coming from with that.
It wouldn't be outrageous if they did that.
Two game suspensions in.
No,
you're getting outrageous.
Crazy.
That's getting
shit.
crazy. That's
Come
getting crazy.
on. Let them live.
I think Haas will learn from this for sure. We have to remember, like, yeah. Anyway,
I think the game, I think you want the game being brought into disrepute every now and then.
Dude, the game is better for being brought into disrepute.
Don't you reckon? I think you need a little bit of disrepute every now and then.
disrepute's got a bad rap.
This season's been crying out for a bit of disrepute.
Yeah, you hear disrepute and you think negative.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily negative.
No.
There's plenty of
All
positive in
covertly-
disrepute.
Marketing. You
Yeah.
could swap that in for marketing.
That's it.
That's right.
And Haas could go
Free
to them. Like, I'm
marketing.
just trying to market the game.
We've talked about that at length, Tom and I, before. Disrepute and marketing are one and the same thing.
word.
They're basically the same thing. And you know what? Puts it on papers, puts it in mouths, puts it on TVs, puts it in eyeballs, right? Gets the people talking, gets people talking about rugby league.
Yeah.
And off the back of that, you get
Money.
more people at games. More money, more
Cashola.
sponsors, more
Now,
glory.
big news. Now, this is just reportedly. It hasn't happened yet, but reportedly, allegedly, through the grapevine, DC has re-signed with the club until 2025.
We've spoken to DCE, look, in the lead up to this decision. Just generally, we have a lot of conversations with him. We knew this was happening, not surprised by it.
I actually knew about this last year
Yeah.
when I spoke to him personally.
Okay.
He
Over
said
a couple of margaritas.
He said he's going to take unders for the club because he's made hay over the last 10
He's
years.
made a fair bit of hay.
He said that. He said, I've made a shitload of hate. I said, I
Hate
respect
up.
you, bro.
He's all hate up.
He
You
said, I
got
love the
barns full of
club.
hate.
He goes, I love the club. Obviously, I'm still razor sharp.
Kicking
Obviously,
the
I kicked a
lights out.
20-40 and a 40-20, and I fucking pounded those gimps into the ground on the
Drop.
weekend.
He said that last year.
Well, he said, I'm going
He
to
said
pound.
that this week. But,
He said that this week. I knew about the decision last year, but he said the gimp thing.
Sorry, my
You were
bad.
combining a couple of
Sorry.
conversations.
Yes, I was. We speak so often. And he said he's taking unders for the club because he loves the club and he wants to win another ring.
Win
or
prems.
2, 3, 4 more rings.
Yeah, a few more rings for the club.
Yep. Maybe 3 more.
Still young.
3 more.
Still very young.
Still young.
Still very young.
Jeez.
Youngish.
I tell you what, probably kicked his absolute dick off on the
Oh, the
weekend.
dick
One of
was
the
kicked
great kicking of the
Clean
game.
off. Was it? Well, they're calling it the greatest regular season kicking performance of all time.
Who's they?
Ricky Stewart.
Yeah.
He did give him big raps.
Ricky was like going. Kiss
Ricky was
Bob
almost
Fulton's grave.
like, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Ricky's
Ricky
like,
actually
go to
went
Bob
hard.
Fulton's grave with a bunch of flowers and thank him posthumously.
He was almost like, yeah, fuck. I mean, we should have lost. Like, how
Yeah.
good did that bloke play?
No, Ricky was
That's-
all over
that's
DC.
Ricky just
but he just
perfection,
likes
though.
seeing a good half getting around the field, doesn't he?
Do you reckon that
Still
was-
gets Ricky hard.
That's Ricky deflecting from his side.
I was going to say, do you reckon that's like planned from Ricky, where it's like, look, I just need to get some
No,
heat
I
off
think
me,
he
boys.
just appreciates greatness when he sees it.
Yes, he does, but I think that Ricky loves, in
Bit of
terms of
both.
trying to cool
Bit of both.
Ricky's reactors.
We could
it's
both be right.
Let's,
That clip of him like this.
yeah, on the sideline. It was great.
If you've ever seen a man ready to fucking go, Kyrgios, that was what Kyrgios was feeling before he let go.
Yeah.
Rick Noble is.
When they see him about to pop like that, have you ever seen those like pop-up toilets on the side of NFL fields? They must need to put him in one of them, just like
Time out, a little angry.
like a little timeout zone.
get
for
But then
him.
you want to get him on
over.
camera, though. I like
But I
seeing
know,
Ricky
but
like that.
if I'm trying to protect my club's interests, I don't want him on camera like that.
Yeah, right.
Get him. You should get like a masseuse that like runs over and is like, fucking
Give him a little massage.
little massage.
Little-
Well, he's sick of that. He's sick of the butt stuff.
well,
could
he
we go
said
front?
that. He's
has.
on public record saying
go
he's
front.
over the butt stuff.
Yeah, he's over butt stuff.
Could tickle the front.
Could give him front tickle. More doodle
Has
work.
anyone ever said no to that?
What, the front tickle? No.
A bit of a sideline shaft tickle.
It'll take his mind off it.
It would,
It
yeah.
would.
Take his mind off it.
Well, let's hope it doesn't get stage fright.
Nah, just a tickle.
Hope that
That's
thing.
true. It's just a
It's
tickle.
just a tickle.
Yeah.
You don't need to perform.
Hope that doesn't blow.
Dick Noble.
Oh, yeah.
Every week. Every week.
Now, yeah, obviously DC resigning. Look, I think when you look at the halves on the market, and you look at DCE still playing some quality footy, I do think that if they want to win a premiership, he still has some adjustments to make in his game. And I think he's doing that really well. I think he's been bringing foreign in quite a lot. Like, first 2 rounds, I really felt like DCE was trying to win it himself. And it's like the double-edged sword. It's like kind of like Piercy to an extent. Like, they're such competitors that sometimes they can overdo things. And then I think, like, when DCE takes a step back, especially for, like, the first, like, 20 to 40 minutes and allows foreign to become an attacking... Because, like, as you know, well, you may have noticed, against the Raiders, they attacked a lot down their left side, which they don't usually attack. It's usually down the right side. And I think that just opened things up for DCE to be released later in the game. He had his dominance second half, pretty much. Like, that's what I saw anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think that the more they can bring foreign into the game, the closer you guys will be to beating the top tier sides, because it opens up attack for you. Whereas right now, if it's just DCE that makes your attack, it's obviously, well, wherever DCE is, we defend that.
And Foreign's got a lot to give.
Foreign's playing great. His
Yeah.
last 2 games been fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got plenty to give.
Much
There's
to
a
give.
lot of football left in the old bull.
He's not that old.
No, he's not.
He's pretty young. We might have the youngest halves in the comp.
He's actually our age.
I think he might even be younger. I think it's just because
he's the most Aussie-sounding Kiwi I've ever met in my life.
Yes, but he sounds Kiwi, but there is like a real Aussie-ness
So
to
Aussie Ocker.
It's Aussie Ocker with a twinge of Kiwi in there.
Yeah.
it. It's like us.
Sure. Exactly like us.
Now, Andrew Abdo.
Sorry, I just thought I'd point out. Did you see what? I know we spoke about Flanagan already, but did you see what Paul Kent said about the Flanagan getting recalled? His exact quote was, "It's like getting a hand grenade for your birthday."
Yeah. Look, it's a tough.
It's not
gig.
a bad. I like that analogy. It's a tough one to come back
But
and
in
go
saying
straight.
that, like, who wants a hand grenade for their birthday? Whereas, like, he would want to get called up. So analogy doesn't really work. But
Well,
anyway.
it sort of does though. It's sort of
But
like the
there's
gift
no
you didn't
positive
want.
with a hand grenade.
Well, it's a gift.
This is a gift that Flano wants, though. Why would
Maybe-
he want a hand grenade?
But he
Because
could
they're a bit
use
of
it.
fun. You could use a hand
But he
grenade.
could use it to, blow up the opposition
You could use a hand grenade,
Block the opposition.
and win.
Okay.
like their defense.
Or he could blow himself up.
Well,
So that's
if you-
what Porkins thinking.
You
Fair
got to
enough.
hold it for long enough.
I
and
stand
then
corrected.
1, 2.
How long do you have to hold them for? What's the fucking? Do they change? Like, are some shorter than others?
How scary
Imagine
is
if
that,
you got used to like a 5-second one, and
then you get a
then they
3.
gave you a 3.
Yeah.
And you don't have a hand anymore.
But, like, how scary is that? Like, you pull that pin, like, that's your life. You know what I mean? Like, and what if something malfunctions? Like,
Actually, as I said, I don't think they time it. I think they've got you just
No,
hold the
no,
thing.
no,
when
no.
It
it
says here
releases.
between 2 and 6 seconds.
There are
well,
timers.
between 2 and 6, that's
Yeah.
a fucking lifetime.
But so when you
2
do,
and 6 is a lot.
but when
That's
you take the
fucking
fucking pin
heaps.
out, you've got the thing that you hold in. You can hold that in and it won't blow, and you can put the pin back in.
But like, you pull
Says the guy who's never held
you
a
pull the
grenade.
pin out, and what if you like you have a spasm? You're like, oh shit,
and then drop it.
fuck.
Yeah, well, you don't have
And
a
what if it's,
spasm when you're
and then
holding
it's
a
like,
grenade.
well, have I got 1 second or 2 seconds or 6?
So we got 6, yeah. Like,
I
boys,
wouldn't have the nerve to take it out and go, and then I'd just be like, fuck this, get rid of it. But then the problem is they get it, throw it back. You ever seen a fucking war film?
That's
Yeah.
it. Well,
Call of
have
Duty
you
as
ever
well.
played Call of Duty?
Yeah, Call of
You
Duty,
can
do
throw
that.
them back.
Yeah, you press F, I think. It says throwback grenade.
Can't remember. Point is
Are you
this.
too cool for video games?
No, I just haven't played them for a long time. But I'm also not good at them.
No,
I
you're
love
shit.
video games.
What
I'm
are
just
you
shit
good at?
Not much, bro. Not much.
Okay. Good at podcasting, I'll give you that.
I can dribble. I don't know if that's good,
Well, I mean,
but I can talk
You are
shit.
good at podcasting. Like,
Thank
that's
You
so
couldn't play
much.
FIFA.
I could, but not. You
think
were my
maybe-
Achilles heel.
I think we went over this. You're
Does that
like,
shock anyone?
You're like the guys from Renaissance that like aren't good at anything like competition wise, but when it just comes to talking and being gluttonous, that's what you're good at.
I'm a pig.
Being gluttonous.
Yeah, I'm a chatty pig.
When it comes to putting on weight, you're pretty good.
You're one of the best.
I tell you
I
what,
think that's pretty fair. I'll play that. I'm a fat pig. Like good at talk.
but yeah, hand grenade. No, I mean it's funny by Kent because it's kind of true. You're going up against the absolute throbbing, team of the
Pulsating.
Panthers. Oh, that thing is pulsating.
Yeah.
Jesus, with Nathan Cleary, who is so hot to trot. When it like if he ran for mayor of Penrith, he'd win.
He'd just lift up his shirt and everyone go, yep, sweet.
Yeah. Well, I think MG currently the mayor of Penrith, and he would happily stand aside for Nathan.
I reckon MG, love MG, but if they go head to head in a mayor-off battle, I think
it's all
Cleary-
over.
Well, I think MG knows that his time.
He wouldn't stand
his
in the
time as mayor is basically just up to whether Cleary wants it or not. Well, MG has been the mayor
He's
of
had a
Penrith.
pretty good run.
I think
Great
he's
run.
had the longest run of any mayor in the.
You know who else is the mayor of not Penrith, but they're from Penrith, but they're mayor of Manly? Girdler.
Girdler's not the mayor of Manly. That's a disgrace.
He's your fucking dad, that's for sure.
He is not the mayor of Manly. Eddie, can you help me out? Who's the mayor of Manly?
The guy that fucking totally... you remembered
Girdler
him all
is
last-
not the mayor of
last year.
Manly. He probably would.
He's
claim
taken
it,
money
though.
out of the community, which mayors
He's
do.
not the mayor. He's
And
like
he's
the
fucking
he's
is.
like the snake.
Yeah, he's the Trojan horse.
I
He's the
love the-
Trojan horse.
He's the Trojan
I
horse.
love the like the picture of him like just smiling, and every time I see that, I just think flat
We,
track
when,
boys.
when he was calling us flat track bullies last year, and then we got absolutely flogged. We just got DM'd so many photos of Girdler. I was like,
That's all it was. Just the inbox
what a play by him.
full of Girdler.
That was a big play. You
huge
got to admit
play.
that.
But I mean,
Huge
he's
play.
fucking good, Gerd.
Everyone else is on Manly's
he's
stick.
very good.
We're
Mate.
all riding Tommy's cock into glory.
Yeah.
And he's on the balls going, nah, use a flat track.
Nah, you're
boys."
off your head. Flat
Yeah.
track bullies.
What do you say? Gerds was right.
Gerds was right.
He's
But
wrong.
he's
If he was to
wrong.
say it now, he'd be wrong.
He's wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If he said it now, he'd be wrong. He was right
At that
potentially at the
time.
time.
But the worst thing is you've
Potentially.
been
Still
Well,
won't
no,
admit
he
it.
wasn't right.
You've been put in an impossible situation though, because like right now, if you lose to Penrith, Roosters, like that's kind of where you are on the table or where you should be as a squad. Like when you compare your squad to those squads, they are
We
probably
essentially
better.
weren't as good as the top two teams in the comp.
Yeah, which is like, so the only way to get rid of that is essentially to win a fucking comp.
Yes.
So it's like the worst position to be in.
Yeah.
Well, we don't care,
We don't
but
care.
it's an unwinnable situation.
But it's about winning. It's
in the eyes of Gerds.
But I think that speaks
Who
to
I love.
everyone's perception of Manly and how great the club is.
Yeah.
Is that if we don't win the comp, everyone calls us flat track boys.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas the Broncos, everyone go, "Fuck, the Broncos did pretty well this year.
Dude,
They
the
almost
Broncos.
made the grand final."
Dude, how stoked was he in the bloody WhatsApp where it's like, "Oi, we're almost in the 8." Like, he was happy with just being a gatekeeper.
He's like, "Look
of
at
the 8.
us! Like, we're almost there."
Yeah.
And we're like, pathetic.
Never going to get in the 8. Will you ever be in the 8 again this season? You reckon? No.
Well, I didn't predict them to be in the 8. I thought they'd finish around 10.
I'm just asked. Yeah. So you don't think?
Do you
got no
think
faith?
that, like, are you getting deja vu?
Because you were ambush season like a fucking.
You
2
were
weeks
like
ago.
a ghillie suit and shit.
Yeah.
Did you jinx them?
Did you jinx your side? You came in guns
I don't think so.
ablazing
Because you
after
wore the
one
ghillie suit.
Look, I think
and then they lost.
straight.
Look,
They
I
haven't won
think
since the ghillie
one
suit.
thing that should be
No.
sacred is if you do things for content, it shouldn't be held against you. I think that should be sacred in the podcast game. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
That's certainly not the feedback we get.
Nah, well, I
Oh.
just got fucking called a fat gluttonous pig. So I don't know whether that's bloody fair. The ghillie suit might have jinxed
We've
Broncos.
put the knocker on Manly many times.
Oh, you put the knocker?
Well, that's what people say.
That's what the fans say to us.
Oh, okay.
we
fair
did it
enough.
last year, and then we.
But I
came
believe
forth.
between podcasters, though, like I would never.
Well, you just did that.
What do you mean?
You just called me a fat gluttonous pig off the back of my Maccas.
But that's what? No, I
No,
didn't.
but
off
that's
the back
got-
of the monkeys. I was giving you a compliment.
You held.
I said you're like a
podcasts.
Renaissance person.
You
You're
said
gluttonous,
you're a
but you can
fat
chat.
pig, and you ate too much Maccas, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck's going
Look,
on?
maybe I did jinx them. But all I know is it was the content game. We're the content cartel. We agree with that.
Yeah.
And you got to do some things.
No,
you've got
gotta-
to.
I'm
no,
not.
look, you need to
I'm
worship
always
at the
going to
altar of
back
content.
I'm always going to back your decisions from a content perspective, and I thought the ghillie suit was a masterstroke. I thought it was unbelievable.
you.
I'm not here to disagree with the ghillie suit. I'm merely pointing out to you
Yeah.
that the rugby league gods move in mysterious ways. They may have seen the ghillie suit as a
This guy's
tempting
getting
of fate.
big for his boots.
Yeah, as in a bit early, champ.
One round in, ghillie
I think
suit.
God called me champ. Fuck.
I
You might have been
Champed by
champed
God.
by a rugby league god.
we've all been champed by the rugby league gods at one point or another.
That's a tough gig. That's a tough gig. Look, I'll take that on board, guys. That's great feedback. Now, on to a huge match. This actually is a really interesting match because both teams, the question is, like, are they the real deal? Literally, like, is Manly the real deal this year? Knights had such a good start to the season. They've had a couple of losses, but they've been in the game and they've had people sent off sent for 10 that probably shouldn't have been. Knights versus Manly. Knights have stayed the same 1-17. Thoughts on KP most likely re-signing? That's the latest reports. Just quickly, what's interesting is, sorry, bro. So it gets leaked that Wayne interviews Ponga or whatever. And then the report comes out that Ponga is allegedly rejected the offer and is going to stay with Knights. And then it gets leaked that, well, it was Ponga that asked the meeting. It's almost like, all right, well, if you're going to reject us, we'll fuck you as well.
Yeah. All right, cool. You're not coming? Well, yeah, you wanted to meet with us. Like, I mean, okay.
And it's like, breaking news, huge twist. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Whoever called the meeting, it's like, no, you hit on me first. You hit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen.
really. It was pretty schoolyard.
But also, it's like, oh, okay, Dolphins, are you going to try and tell us that you weren't crawling up his manager's butthole to try and get a chat with him? Like,
Because if you weren't, then you weren't doing your job.
yeah,
Get
know
up
what
his
I mean?
butthole. They didn't get up high enough, clearly.
no,
They didn't get up high enough.
No.
You got to crawl right in there.
gotta get in there.
You got to
You
make
gotta-
yourself known
you
up
gotta
there.
disappear.
You got to reach the shelf.
There'll be
Yeah.
plenty of clubs up.
You got to find the shelf.
You got to
and
find
plonk
the
yourself
shelf.
there.
You got to shelf this bloke.
Yeah.
But sorry, Ponga looks like he's going to stay.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Look, he's not keen to win a comp. I get it. He just wants to, play good, honest rugby league with a great rugby league town, but he's got no desire to win a competition, and that's cool. I respect him. I respect Callum.
It's
Ponga.
obvious. Well, was it even you saying, Denon, that you heard that he just loves Newcastle?
He loves Newey, yeah, for sure.
Happy there. Look, if I don't know, maybe he's got plans to raise a family.
Yeah,
Newey.
Rear a couple of kids.
Mate, I respect him
down.
for staying there. Fucking good on him. If he reckons he can drag them to the promised land, then I respect the shit out of that. You know what I mean? Joey's probably been in his ear going, listen, bro, I did it twice. Like, it's a fucking nice feeling. You're capable of it, you know?
Yeah.
When you got the 8th whispering sweet nothings in your ear, then I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I love it. I think it speaks a lot to KP. Like, he clearly wants to lift that team to a final.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's great stuff.
And truthfully, Knights are it's great for the Knights, obviously, because if they lost him, it would have been, it would have been a tough time. But they are a good side, and you always want Newcastle to be good. When they're shit house, when they're going bad, it's not good for the game generally. So it's great that he stays.
How far away do you reckon they are? Because their side's pretty good.
Mate, one or two signings at the moment. One or two signings. I
They're
think
not that far away.
they've still got Brayley to come back. They've got Clement to come back. Saifidis haven't played much footy this year. Ponga, he's been in and out. If he can get injury-free and playing his best footy, I don't think they're that far. Like, I really don't. Tyson Frizzell is an absolute throbber.
Yeah.
Dane Gagai is playing career-best footy. A tough, weekend.
Bradman Best seems to struggle to get into enough games.
Yeah, but he's so young still. He's like 20. So, like, he's got plenty of footy in front of him. With the way they've started and how impressive Clune and Clifford had been, I reckon they're not that far off. At the moment, I'd say they're a top 8 side with a recruit or two. They could be like the Sharks. They could be like the Sharks. Like, I would have said before Sharks recruitment last year, Knights were probably ahead of them of who's closer to attacking the top 4. Whereas now, with those recruits the Sharks made, they've leapfrogged them, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
As seen by the win on the weekend. But yeah, I don't think they're far off at all. Especially think about if they play as good as they did the first 2 rounds, they don't get anyone sent for 10, and KP plays his best footy. Like, that's a fucking hard team to beat.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty close. Now, all the positive things we just said about Knights, you may be taking that back because they're currently favourites to beat you guys.
Listen, Tommy Turbo's gone down with a knee injury. He got out of a successful surgery yesterday where Eddie donated his medial ligament. Again, it was,
Good bloke.
I'm here for the club.
so it's what we do.
That's why I'm limping.
We moved Stubby back to fullback, which is fine. That's good. He's quick as fuck. I'd like to see him get more ball. I'd like to see him get more ball in space. So I'm happy with Stubby at fullback. I will say this. Tui Pelotu in the centres, Brad the Ant Parker, still not in first grade. Just from my completely uneducated, doesn't know a fucking thing I would have thought Brad Parker was the better performing centre of the two over Manly's first few rounds. And so I'm kind of shocked that
I thought Harper was
getting shafted.
I thought Harper was struggling for form for sure, and I thought Parker was probably the better out of the two. It's interesting that Harper played better last game.
He
so
did,
maybe
but
that
it
was it.
He did. It was still indifferent.
He's still
Yeah.
fucking.
It was like a bit of a. It was a bit of a hot, cold, weird game.
The
Almost.
game generally wasn't actually a great game. Manly did win 13 plus as they tend to do, but it was not a great game. Like, they didn't play well. That first half was like there was so much drop ball. Yeah, that game annoyed the fuck out of me to watch.
The first half was particularly annoying.
How frustrating is it when you're watching as a fan and like you finally get in the grind, you get through a couple of sets, and then there's a front rower that drops ball over.
Yeah, like if the Raiders weren't
And you're
so
attacking their line, you're like, here we are, bruh.
Like the
we are.
Raiders were also
Just
really
complete.
shit. Like if the Raiders weren't playing so shit, Manly very well could have been pumped because like anytime we may have fucked up, the Raiders fucked up like 3 times.
I will say this though, they're talking big torrential rain Thursday night, McDonald Jones Stadium, Newcastle. Tom and I will be there. They're talking big rains. We know who can control wet weather footy. His name's DCE.
Yeah, DC.
He's got the form, bro.
does.
I'd like to also give a
form.
personal shout out to our boy Josh Alloye, who was just fucking. He was immense in his return game, and what we needed a big, thick motherfucker doing big, thick boy shit, and that was being thick in the middle.
Tom and I were saying when you saw him panning away those salts, those stiffened salts, those bath salts.
Bath salts.
You're like, this bloke's got some fucking. He's going to go out there and rip and tear, and
You're
he did.
pounding salts before games. You're ready to fucking.
But
Oh,
it wasn't just 1 or 2 sniffs. He was like 5 or 6 of them. He was good to
Lungfuls.
go.
Lungfuls.
Lungfuls of it. Stuff.
His
Like,
eyes were going in different directions.
Felt like he was the tone setter for the other Manly bigs, the other Manly middles, who then, off the back of Josh's performance, started to do a bit more.
well, I think that the Manly boys needed the tone to be set.
Yep.
And they were waiting for someone to come along and set the tone. That was Josh Alloway.
Okay, so set the tone on the radio dial. They went into the tone options.
Well, yeah, we're just getting static, and then Josh comes and goes, I'll find you a channel. Boom.
Fine channel.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. Or are you more talking like the bass and the treble?
I mean,
Because there's tune and there's tone.
It was
so
just
I
a
don't know what
joke. Who
we're
gives a
talking
fuck?
about. No, I was just trying to work it out.
who gives a fuck?
Well, tone is one thing and tuning's another, so I'm
Yeah, okay.
not really sure.
Tone, tune, tone, same thing.
Well, they're not.
Manly wins well, 13 plus.
Cooler anytime.
Cooler anytime try scorer. I am actually going the Knights.
I actually think
Going Knights.
Manly.
Are
look,
you?
Tommy. If Tommy plays, Manly
Tommy not playing
definitely
Knights.
win. I think the Knights are out of form.
Out of form.
Yeah.
They're like 12-0 down with like 10 a person set for 10.
On the weekend.
Yeah, they've got a try scorer on them like the last 5 minutes.
Who are they playing again? Sharks.
Sharks.
Yeah.
They were
Nah.
killing
Knights are out of form.
Okay,
Manly win well.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Look, Manly 13 plus.
Warriors Cowboys. Adam Fanua-Blake is under an injury cloud. That's actually a huge out if he is out because he's so fucking good for them. Drinkwater named at fullback.
Scotty Drink.
I think the Cowboys bounce back after
Same.
their poor performance.
I've
last week.
tipped the cows as well.
Cows.
AFB out's massive. Drink Bloke in at fullback, huge.
Drink Bloke, yeah. But also the Warriors. Did the Cowboys pound the Broncos? They did, didn't they?
They
Or was it close? Yeah, they
in
pounded
a
them.
trial. This is a trial.
No. Like the
Oh,
week
in the
or two.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they did.
Yeah. And whereas the Warriors and Broncos, just using some rugby league math here, Warriors Broncos was tight. Warriors not very good. Cowboys
That's rugby league math right there.
Cowboys against shitter sides are pretty good. So I think Cowboys
That's
will
rugby
do a
league
job.
math right there.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, mate, what other maths do I do?
But again, drink Bloke in at fullback's a big in. That's
a big in.
That's a huge in.
Big in. I actually like Drinky at fullback. He'll get through a bunch of work, add extra, I guess a ball player out the back, which is always helpful. Warriors, the Adam Fanua-Blake being under an injury cloud is very concerning. Without him, like very hard for them to go forward. I know Lodge is good, but fuck Fanua-Blake is good. So good. But yeah, I reckon the Cowboys get the job done. Peyton will not be happy with their last week performances. Not at all. Broncos, Roosters. Broncos have Carrigan, Kelly, and Flegler out. Walters returns to 5'8". Capel also returns. Flegler. Did you guys think that the three of those reports? Did you see them?
No, I only saw what happened to Carrigan. Like, that's the only one that I remember.
I was
going to
say the Flegler. He got put on report 4 times. 3 of them weren't even like fucking.
They seem a bit
penalties.
report happy.
Man. Anyway, Roosters the same 1-17. Who have you got in this?
Roosters getting horny. They're getting horny and they're getting horny quick.
I can't see a way for the Broncos to win this game.
I don't
and can't
see a way for it
for
to
them
not be 13 plus.
Exactly. It's at Suncorp.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Tough for you guys right now.
Look, it's going to be tough. It's a tough game.
Things are starting to,
Come together.
iron out for the Roosters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're coming together. There's
Yeah.
a bit more harmony.
And against shit sides, easier to work the kinks out.
Yeah.
To galvanise, to work the kinks
Yeah.
out, to get a hum
I mean, they
on.
towed you guys up. So
I predict
guess,
Tupou to run a train on Selwyn Cobbo.
the train.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing.
Seeing a train being run.
Huge game for Selwyn. Needs to obviously get the errors out of his game. Look, it's going to be a tough night. Tough night. Heart says Broncos, but head says.
I'm waiting for
Roosters.
Katoni to click into gear.
Yeah, I think he's still struggling with that knee.
Has to be, right?
It has to be. Because when we talk about throbbers of the game, he's up there in top 5 throbbers, like
100%.
aggressive motherfuckers. I think he's still struggling with his knee, to be honest.
Do you reckon it's his like physically or confidence?
I think a mix of everything. Like I think like it's probably not as agile as it used to be. He can feel it clicking, all that kind of shit. But at the same time, he's probably sweet to go because sometimes when he does run the ball, fucking throws blokes off him. But I just think right now there's something going on in his personal life and mental. Something's going on there. Whether it's his knee that's throwing him off or something else, just doesn't look as happy as he was last year.
Yep.
Now on to Raiders Storm. Both teams same 1-17.
The Raiders they seem to perform well against the Storm historically, but I don't think that they are in a position to perform well at the moment. Like they're out of sorts in a big way. The Storm, hot as shit. Storm win 13+. The return of the 13+ this week. Early season, it was all like fucking teams working each other out, what's going on, getting used to the sort of minor rule changes. Now it's like the packs are separating. Round 5, Storm are going to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, I'm going Storm.
Yeah, I'm on the Storm big time. They
look so hot.
They were so fucking impressive last week on Sunday, dude. They were just so hot.
Stand all that pressure and then tell them up 44-0. Like
Pap had an absolute field day.
Justin Olam, and it's not his fault,
good.
but I was a Justin Olam try away from a fantastic multi coming off. An absolute perler.
Tom loves talking about his multis that don't get up.
Yeah, I know. They're always good to hear.
Who doesn't talk about multis that don't
If there's
get
chat
up?
that I like hearing, it's blokes multis that don't get up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, really, bro? Fuck.
Oh, dude, I would have won like 30 grand.
The irony, if you watch About Even, which you should, is that Eddie is also just as enamoured.
Sorry, I got a $28.33 multi on that.
He did actually get a phenomenal.
You're allowed to talk about the ones you get.
I tipped the round. Sorry, I forgot to tell everyone. I tipped the fucking round.
Fucking hell.
First time it's ever been done.
Honestly, the amount of posts you made.
Bro, first time it's ever been done. Like, you know what? Like, did you reckon they covered the moon landing?
Didn't like every favourite win except for the Broncos?
Do you think they covered the moon landing, Denon?
Bro.
Did you tip the round, Eddie?
Every favourite
One
run.
short.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't
Every
tip.
favourite one except for the Broncos.
Well, I seem to tip the round. No one else has done it
What
before
a
in the history of the
genius.
game.
What a massive play by
Listen.
you picking favourite.
Well, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. No one's ever done it.
I put my balls on the table. I pick not favourites. I go with my gut. I don't just
I
read,
mean, if you're trying to say that being wrong is better than being right, then I don't want to be wrong.
Wouldn't you want to be wrong?
I'm always right.
Because that's better than being
Well, I picked the round.
wrong. South versus Dragons. South
Again,
and
this
South
is
bounce
easy.
back well.
South
Gotta be South, right?
pump them.
What did you make of Sloan getting left out?
Very strange.
Weird.
Very strange.
Odd,
four
right?
games in. Yeah, I don't understand that. Hook has a tendency to do these plays. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But when you've got a young hot throbber, you know, I thought his start to the year was okay. It wasn't bad. Like I wasn't watching games going, fuck, what's
When
going
do
on
the
with Sloan?
Dragons start? Like, the Dragons are usually early season specialists. Like, obviously, if they get better throughout the year, but like, their back end of last year was shit, and the start to this year has not been very good at all. Like, they seem to be underperforming a little bit. Like, does
they're
Hook,
definitely underperforming.
Does Hook come into any bit of like
Pressure?
what? Yeah, I don't know why Shane Flanagan isn't like more talked about as just a coach that.
Well, they are.
everyone is.
I think he's assistant down there. Is he pretty sure he's assistant down there.
More generally, I mean, like as in other clubs looking at him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not? He's a fucking good coach.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, fucking really good coach. Look, Hook under pressure, not this year, no.
Nah.
Next year, I think, though. If this continues, definitely next year.
This is like they're very clear about this being like a bit of a rebuild.
Yeah.
You know?
And, like the state of
to
the club when he
coach in
rocked
that.
up was pretty fucking yikes.
Is Sloan back in, or is he still
No, he's
cooling the Jets?
Sorry, Flanagan is a consult of the Dragons.
Consult with Dragons.
Console.
Look, I don't think it's panic stations for Dragons at all, but yeah, they probably are underperforming as to where they were. In saying that, the Eels look fucking good. So
The Eels, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They look
so
really
South
hot.
versus Dragon. I'm going South. Titans versus the Eels.
First rematch of the season.
So quick.
So quick.
Like
they
3
love an
weeks
early
later.
rematch.
I don't know. I don't
How does that work?
like that they do this.
No, I don't like it either because it's not as like.
I think this is going to be a
build-up?
very
It
different game,
seems
though.
to be I could be wrong. This is a vibe thing. That it seems like they do this quite often. They'll do like rematches.
Broncos play Bulldogs next week, and we just paid them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They don't spread them apart at all.
No,
I'm like, why
there's
don't you
obviously
do
a
that?
reason for it. But I do think
not
this
next
one
week,
is
sorry.
completely different. I
Broncos
think the
play
Eels
Bulldogs 2
beat
weeks.
the shit out of the Titans this game.
Eels look fucking so good.
Yeah, they look really good. They look really good.
Hot guy Dylan Brown.
Dylan Brown is playing some fucking good football.
Yeah, well, as we said, Eddie, it's
Mitchell Moses
taking his work out of the
fucking
stall
hell,
and onto the footy field.
Get me a fucking cold towel, bro.
That flick pass from Bryce Cartwright, that's just
So good.
fucking
Moses is
primo.
like-
Moses looks fucking good.
He's at like truly at the peak of his game. You know what I mean? Like it feels like everything's been leading to this moment for Moses. He's so consistent now. Like, and I think each year he's just got more and more consistent.
Tom and I were saying that if they play this sort of footy in September, then we're going to go up into the hills because it's evident to all and sundry that the fucking world's about to end.
So we're
the sun
looking
is
at
exploding.
like, we're already sort of looking at places where you might be able to build a
Going off the grid.
Well, just build some sort of bunker.
You know, just dig a fucking big hole and,
Do like
and
a-
sink
Put
a
some shipping
train
containers
carriage
in
or
there.
something.
Yeah.
Do a Hello Sport live from the bunker.
Well, if we can get the internet.
I'm
Oh,
you
we've
got
got that.
pull
Telstra
some
5G.
strings.
Shout out to Telstra
Shout out
5G,
Telstra and 5G.
mobile internet. Really good stuff. Not an ad, just good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Not an ad, but fuck TNT as well, the delivery service. Not an ad. Not an ad. Not an ad. Fuck TNT.
What did TNT do to you? It's the second time you bought
They are the worst delivery company in the world. That's right. Not an ad. Not an ad for TNT.
Not an ad.
Not an ad.
Give us our shit.
Yeah, just
Not an
deliver
ad.
our
What
shit.
shit's waiting for you?
Bro, they rocked up. Delivery driver came. Our new studio couldn't, like, and I'm not even joking, you could probably see the address on this thing from space. Like, it is huge on this wall out the front. And we're waiting for some shit to be delivered. And the guy he's rocked up, didn't tell us he's rocked up, bailed, didn't try to deliver anything. And then they've told us like 10 times that you just get the runaround from these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I've essentially been on the phone to them.
Everyone
for like,
else's fault.
and the guy they just go, oh no, he couldn't deliver it. And I go, well, why not? And they go, oh, he didn't say. And I'm like, okay, well, when are you coming back? Well, we could come back at any time. And I go, well, we might want to know why he couldn't deliver it so we can make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Well,
And they're like, oh, we'll be there between 12 and 5. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, sweet, bro. We'll fucking just sit there waiting for you.
So that was on last Tuesday. It was meant to be delivered, and then every day since then they've said it was going to be delivered. Then I spoke to some
Oh my
dead shit
God.
yesterday at TNT, not an ad, and he goes, "No, we've actually never tried to deliver it again." And I go, "Well, why has everyone else told me you have?"
Oh
and they've
my
told me every day that it's
God.
going to be delivered. And they go, "No, we're going to prioritize it now."
And it's
Oh,
like,
now it's getting prioritized.
But that doesn't mean it'll even get on the thing. We're just going to let you know it's prioritized, but that doesn't mean anything's going to happen, and we
Oh my
can't tell you when it's going to be
God.
delivered. Not an ad.
Tom's pumped.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
I've been fucking. I've
And
been
so
on
I
the
said it
blower
rightly so.
screaming at people.
I
The
said it
only
rightly
thing
so.
that'll make you lose your cool is the things not getting delivered.
I've tried to stay calm.
Yeah,
But it's
you are
annoying
the cool guy.
because they're like, oh, it's priority. It's like, well, then it should be on the truck the next day.
Yeah.
But they go, no, well, that doesn't mean anything.
And
It's been
also,
weeks.
like-
And then, but the worry for us is if it doesn't get delivered, it goes back
Yeah,
to,
it goes back.
to where it,
goes
came
back
from.
to where to whence it came, which is not in Australia. Just so you know.
How, like, what I don't understand is when you didn't deliver
And I
the
don't
first
want to
one-
hire a truck and go to the fucking depot.
No,
I don't want to do
No,
that.
and I
That's
don't want to hire a
bullshit.
plane and go back to a place that rhymes with China.
It rhymes with China.
It's China.
Yeah, look, that sounds like a bad time. Not an ad.
No,
an ad.
not an ad.
Not that.
I am going Eels for the win.
Big time.
Eels win and win well.
Return of the 13 plus, baby. Eels pump them.
Sharks v Tigers.
Sharkies.
Sharkies, big Sharkies.
Well, unless the Tigers bring, look, if the Tigers run out in Terry Toweling, it might be an on-the-spot change of heart, but I can't see the Tigers winning. 0-5 is going to be tough.
Oh,
I tell you what, I will say this. I
feel
know
sorry for
I know I bag the Tigers a lot, but it's only because I got to tell it as I see it. But I do feel very sorry for Tigers and Tiger supporters, and I feel sorry for Madge.
I feel
Maguire,
sorry for Madge.
who was misty-eyed in the box, and it was really hurting my it was chugging at my
I saw the
heartstrings.
person in him then.
Yeah,
reckon.
I was
Madge
like,
seems like
oh,
a really
this
good
is
dude.
fucked.
Madge doesn't seem like a dick. No one really seems like a dick in rugby
Yeah.
league. Madge seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
And there is an argument to be made that it's not necessarily his fault when you look at they've fucking sacked a bunch of coaches. Like there's an institutional sort of underperforming element to the Tigers. But that game was poo. And taking the 2
It was the worst game
when
of
it
footy I've
was
ever seen.
taking the 2 when it was 4-2 is possibly the weakest thing I've ever seen on a football field ever.
And what's crazy is that didn't even lose it for him. It was Titans got a penalty. Someone did a head high, and then they kicked up the field, and that's what made them score.
But then the kick was, I can't remember.
The kick was a missed kick,
Yeah.
and then it was shit show central.
It was a poo slinging match.
But I loved it by the end of it. I was like, please no one score. Please no one score. I want this to be a trialless
I truly
6-2 shit
looking
show.
at Madge then, I was like, just putting myself in his shoes. Like every day must be shit. You know, like every day he's waking up, just going, "Let's go, boys, let's do it." It's like,
We can do
inside.
it. You can play for Australia.
It
Poor
doesn't. It really doesn't send a great message though. We're like taking the 2 because obviously he was like they're going to score a try. We're
Taking
not
the
capable of
2,
it. So
dude.
take the 2. So they'd be like, oh shit, he doesn't believe in us. And then
Take the 2.
And Peachy, you can see he's going like, "What are we doing? Let's
I've
go."
got a question, and obviously none of us can answer it because we're not Tigers
I might be able
fans.
to.
You might be able to,
Oh,
but
'cause
like
we're not Tigers fans,
we're not
sure.
Tigers fans. But
I was
maybe
gonna
like
say,
you know,
I
if
can
you're a
answer a lot of
Tigers fan,
questions.
leave a comment. Do you enjoy rugby league at all? Like in terms of like when your team is so bad, you might enjoy like other games, but like just the general like. How do you get excited week to week? Like, are you excited about playing the Sharks this weekend? Like,
No, I can.
what is that?
Well, I can speak from a Broncos perspective because we struggled for the last.
But it's
2
1
years.
year, you
No,
know,
it's
like
been a fucking while now. It's been like 2.5 years, pretty much.
there's like a
And we finished lower than them. And so my experience is like, when they were winning, you were looking forward to the game like, fuck yeah. But then after these last 2 games, it's almost like, obviously I'm watching, obviously they're my team, but it's more of like an anxiousness, like, fuck, like, you know, it's going to happen again. So I can relate to Tigers fans of like, you don't get the same joy. Like I always look at like the Storm and go, imagine being a Storm, like a Storm supporter. Every weekend, essentially, you can guarantee happiness.
Yes.
You know?
But what I'm more
Except
than
for
with the
rare
Tigers,
occasions.
Rare occasions, and then even then you can be like, oh, we'll win next week anyway. So you give a
Yeah,
fuck.
we never
know?
lose twice. But
And
with the Tigers,
we
I'm
win
more
a comp
mean,
in the next year or two.
but
anyway.
Tigers is since 2011.
Oh, for sure.
That's more like I just mean like that constant. Now you're a joke. Like even though the Broncos aren't playing that well, the Tigers, even if they're ahead of you on the ladder, are still a joke. Are more of a joke than your club.
I'm not saying the Broncos situation is as bad. I'm just saying I know the switch of emotions of like going into games going, fuck, like I go into games when the boys are struggling, just going, I just hope they all come together. I don't care about the result. I just hope we play as a team and just come together. And I think Tigers fans are probably there at that as well. Like I hope the boys just fucking rip and tear. Like I think a lot of Tigers fans, obviously they lost the way they lost. Which is really disappointing. But for 80 minutes of that game, I think a lot of Tigers fans were just happy that the boys were ripping and tearing. Like, because they did rip and tear. You got to give them that. They won all the statistics they needed to win, pretty much, except for.
I wanted them to win.
Yeah.
I felt bad for
I
them.
felt bad for them.
But I picked around. So what? I mean,
Yeah.
I actually am glad they didn't win.
I know what you mean. They're like Broncos. Like we know that this isn't going to be for the next fucking 10 years. Like
Yours is going to turn around.
it's going to
much
turn
quicker
around.
than
Whereas the Tigers is kind of like,
doesn't seem
fuck,
like
what's
it.
going on? There's so much like.
Yeah. How much longer is Dewey out for?
Still a while, I think.
Okay, so he's got a-
Still a while. Tough gig for Tigers fans.
It's just tough.
I truly felt sorry for Madge though. Like,
Mate, honestly, when he was misty-eyed in
Oh,
that box, like
fuck.
by himself, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Like you're almost like, bruh, just go. You could get a coaching gig Super League
Life's
and
too
win a
short,
comp.
dude. Yeah,
like,
life's
bro,
too short.
Could you make the argument that if Hastings played the last 2 weeks,
They win.
they're on 2 in a row?
Possibly.
Definitely win the last game.
one.
Well, they definitely 100% won last week.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I wonder though if you're as well last week. If you're a Titans fan, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah. A bit worrying for Titans.
that's worrying.
Yeah. Absolutely. A bit worrying for Titans. Broncos, like, I am worried, but I just think that like we've got so many good players there now that they'll
And
be
you're
able to
well
pull it together.
resourced as well.
Yeah.
Like it just.
I just think Reynolds and Capel are going to take time to like bring everyone up to their standard. So I'm still positive. I still think that they'll be around that 10th position next year. That's when if we don't make the 8 next year, there's these big issues at the
Yeah.
club. We because we got the roster. Like
You should really be like in
look
and
at
around.
compare our back line to Panthers back line. When you go, okay, they've got at the moment they've got Staines, Crichton, and then they've got Tago and May. We've got Selwyn Cobbo, Katoni Staggs, Herbie Farnworth, Corey Oates. Tell me on paper that
Yeah.
that Panthers one is so much better than ours. It really isn't.
No.
But it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is, but it isn't.
isn't
But it is.
exactly, and
Yeah.
so it's like we have the roster. These
Yeah.
we have also the ability. Like Tony Staggs is as good as Crichton on his day.
Yeah.
Herbie Farnworth is as good as Tago on his day. Selwyn Cobbo is like the next fucking big thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. You've got the best fucking prop in the world. Like you've got good players.
Reynolds, great.
A premiership
Capel,
winning
great.
halfback.
Paddy Carrigan's going to
Premiership
play
winning back
Origin.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's there. It's just about fucking coming together. It'll take time. We'll get there. We'll get there. I got faith.
Coming together is difficult.
Yes.
Takes a lot.
Coming together is hard.
Coming together, fucking to be honest, like
It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's taking so long for us.
Yeah.
It's like we keep.
But if you keep turning up, it can happen.
You will eventually come together at least once or twice. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah. You will come together.
Sharkies versus Tigers. We've got Sharkies. Bulldogs versus Panthers.
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 Return to the 13 plus. Panthers.
Fuck, Panthers, they're throbbing in a whole different stratosphere right now.
Yep.
Like, they
They are. They're just a cut above everyone.
It's great. They're still so young. Like, their squad is young. And they're just dominating teams.
And the guys like Targo come in and just, you don't skip a beat.
Oh, that's I said it wrong before. It's Tungo.
Tango.
Yeah.
Tungo.
So,
Sick.
sorry. I've got to fix that. I've known that since last week and I still fuck it up.
Tungo.
Like,
Tungo.
for example, Junior Paulo is Junior Bolo.
Polo.
Junior
Bolo.
Polo.
Junior Bolo.
Bolo.
It's like a B.
Like Bolo.
Bolo.
Yeah, Junior Bolo.
I heard the
Junior
commentators
Bolo.
calling Stubby Cooler Cola.
No, I
last
heard
week.
that as well, but the nickname's really good.
Yeah, maybe it is Cola. I'm not sure. I think like with like
I'm just going to call him Stubby.
Samoan and Tongan, I think like P is like a B,
Okay.
and G is like NG, like tongue.
And I think as well in like with Fijian, like B is MB, and I think Waka is Wanga.
Like for example,
Yeah.
Kevin Nakama. We say Nagama. It's actually Nangama.
Nangama, yeah.
Nangama.
Yeah, Kevin Nangama.
we do
So
our best.
Naklama.
We'll
We do
fuck it
well.
up. We'll try.
So,
Oh, you keep trying.
yeah,
You keep
it's-
trying.
it's everyone
Motherfucker's still calling him Travojevic, which is doing my head in. It's Trebojevic.
Boyovich.
Travojevic. Stop it. Stop it.
So yeah, for punters listening, it's Isaac Tungo.
Isaac Tungo.
I
Got
like
it.
that more than Tiger.
And Chotrich.
Yeah.
We were saying Kotrich. It's Chotrich. Cookster.
There's a lot to learn.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be opposed to just a session. Just this is how you say them. Just so
Yeah.
I know.
Or just even like a button. You just go and you just like you go to the NRL website and you just hit. The
I reckon
player's
that's
name.
actually a good
You
idea.
just
I
hit the
reckon
button and it goes like,
when they
here's the correct
score,
pronunciation.
I reckon when they score, it should come up like someone should, like a voiceover should go, Junior Bolo, like say it properly, if you know what I mean? So that like it's set up so that you can see like, it says like correct pronunciation and it says it after he scores. I reckon that would be good because it's like in the action. You don't have to go anywhere else to get it. But I mean,
It's tangible.
on the
I
website.
like both ideas.
Yeah.
You could
You
do
do
both.
Do both.
You
You
could
like
do
your
both.
idea?
No,
You
I
like-
think
oh,
both.
okay,
I just mean, absolutely. Let's do both. Let's do them all.
Let's do both.
Got it. So this Sunday,
12 p.m.
also
12 p.m.
go to Hello Sport YouTube. You've
Yep.
got the Volkanovski
Interview
up.
Yep.
Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube, follow on Instagram, join the Punters and Dribblers group. Be there Sunday. Be there at B Square, 12 o'clock, a rip snorting card. Make sure to be there at 6 p.m. tonight to get the shorts, the Bloke shorts. Grab a case of Bloke in a bar and I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.